It's a career opportunity unlike any other in the financial services industry. The Thrive in Financial Representative Development Program for new college graduates. Earn an immediate salary with bonus opportunities while getting support and training to build client relationships and grow your own business. Join a company that rewards young professionals who are results-driven and want to live out their faith by making a difference in the lives of Christians by helping them be wise with money.
Maybe it was a big thing, like helping you land the perfect internship. Maybe it was something small, like offering a sympathetic listening ear when you missed your family. It might have been advice about your choice of major, spiritual guidance, or how to deal with roommate conflicts. Whatever it was, you knew that you were seen and heard. You walked away a little lighter, a little more confident, knowing that someone else was walking this journey with you. At Bethel University, we're more than an academic institution. Yes, we're proud of our internationally recognized programs. Students come to Bethel to be equipped for success in over 50 fields of study, from residential undergraduate to online master's degrees. But they stay because they're not walking alone. 7 in 10 residential students are active in one-on-one mentoring or small groups. From the dedicated faculty to friendly staff, everyone at Bethel cares deeply about helping you prepare for what you were meant to do. Because we all believe you're meant to do incredible things for God's kingdom. And it's true. Bethel alumni are active in 65 nations around the world. What connects you to Bethel? There's no question. It's the relationships and community that give purpose to everything you gain here. At Bethel University, we see you. At Bethel University, we know you, and we'll connect your passion with a pathway to impact the world for Christ. Be true. Be blue. Be you at Bethel University.
Just someone who enjoys personal attention and solid financial solutions. Go to tcunet.com/betterbanking to learn more. TCU, better rates, better service, better banking. Teachers credit union deposits are federally insured by the NCUA and we're an equal housing opportunity. NMLS number 686706.
When your child's in the hospital, the last thing you want to do is to leave their bedside.
If we had to leave the hospital at any time, it would have drove us nuts.
Family room was definitely a blessing for us. We needed to be close to our daughter, and it gave us exactly what we needed at that time.
Make a difference in the life of a family when they need it most. Give to the Ronald McDonald House at Memorial Children's Hospital in South Bend. Donate to our new house at loveshinethrough.org.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Regional Radio Sports Network. We are broadcasting live and in living color from the Gates Gymnasium at the YCAM Athletic Center. Welcome here to Mike Lightfoot Court. A top 12 matchup here featuring the Bethel University Pilots, who come in 17 wins and 3 losses, ranked 11 in the NAIA Division II poll, taking on their nemesis, the Mount Vernon Nazarene University Cougars, at rank number 6. Mark, the Cougars have had the Pilots' numbers winners of 6 consecutive basketball games, and they have done it in all kinds of wide varieties, from blowouts to the Pilots giving one away, all kinds of things, a double overtime game, a single overtime game, and I tell you what, they have got 3 of the best players in the Crossroads League, and Jevin Knox, Jacob Paul, and Isaac White. Those 3 guys, 2 of those 3 guys are already over 1,000 points in their career, one soon to join them. So anytime you have 3 guys at 1K, you know you've got a great way to start. And Jared Roney, the young coach at Mount Vernon, has just done a spectacular job. He's 7-6 against the Pilots. There's not a lot of coaches in America that through 13 games have a winning record against Bethel University.
Yeah, I remember when they came into the conference, and it was kind of like, why do people want to drive 6 hours to thump them, and why do they want to drive 6 hours to get thumped? And that's changed. And, you know, they've been at the top of the conference now competing, and we saw it. You know, you saw it where, okay, now they're going to upset people. Now they're in the middle of the pack, and now they've put themselves at the top of the pack. And now when I think of them, all I think about is overtime losses. It seems like they break our hearts repeatedly in games that the Pilots have had in control. And, you know, you're up with 8 seconds to go. All you got to do is inbound and knock down free throws, and you win. We don't do that. You're up with a minute to go by 6, and you blow that lead and then lose it in overtime. So certainly, you know, home court advantage, and Bethel's 17-3, and that's good. But, man, part of that mentality for the Pilots has got to be these guys tend to have our number lately.
Pilots are coming off a really good performance on the road at the Gundam Gymnasium at Goshen, where they had 7 guys in double figures. 13 of the 14 guys on the roster got in and scored points.
Yep.
That is outstanding. And a change in the lineup really did this group good.
Yeah, change of lineup, and I thought it brought some energy off the bench. The guys that started, Max got 2 quick fouls, and so right away you got some of those guys right back in. Pickle Pluta came back and played great. It was good to see Nick come in and not just play but contribute and have a real nice game. And now with Phillip out tonight, no big deal because when Pickle went down, Phillip stepped up, and now it's just change of roles there for those two.
We're going to see 2 of the best guards in America here today, and Knox from Mount Vernon, Nazarene University, and of course Travion Cruz. We've been talking about him. Everybody in America is talking about him. We've had people throughout the course of the season say, hey, what can you tell me about this guy? The stat line's real easy. 21 points, 5 rebounds, 6.5 assists, 2 steals, shooting 88% from the charity stripe, shooting an eye-popping 53% from the field. He's knocked down 55 triples, and he is so smooth, and he lets the game come to him as well as anybody in America.
Yeah, he's been more aggressive lately, scoring early. That was been kind of our knock on him, and people in the stands. Coaches are okay with it, and the players understand, but most spectators and broadcasters go, hey, shoot the ball more, get going. And so I feel like he's been looking for his shot more lately, which has been good for the Pilots, but at the same time, he gets everybody else involved. Just by being on the floor, he changes what the defense can do.
And Jevin Knox, the numbers are spectacular for him. 20 points, 4.5 rebounds, 93%, Coach, from the charity stripe, right around 3 assists, 2 turnovers and a steal in every game, shooting 53% from the field, and he has been the Pilots' worst nemesis. You can talk about how bad the Pilots have played against Kyle Mangus. I think Jevin Knox sees blue all year long.
Yeah, 1,400 career points, and it feels like 700 of them have come against the Pilots. He's a 30-plus a game every night out against the Pilots, 51% from three-point range, and that's the thing that hurts you is you got to get out. But he's so athletic that you come out and you close out too hard. He's pump faking, beating you to the rim for an and one.
Yeah, 4th best three-point shooter in America.
Yep.
We got a lot on tap here tonight, so we're glad you can join us here at this top 12 matchup. The Pilots hoping to make this a real special week because number 2 Indiana Wesleyan is going to be in Mike Lightfoot Court on Saturday. Pilots, Cougars, it all comes your way right after this short timeout on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
EDU.
Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Discover better banking at Teachers Credit Union. More than
The Bethel Pilots matched up against the Mount Vernon Cougars here today. Jared Roney joining us here prior to today's matchup. Great top 12 matchup between the Pilots and the Cougars. Jared, first of all, congratulations. 17 wins out of 20, especially where you're at in this league. You have to feel really, really good. Tell us about 20 games in. What do you like?
Well, we've progressively, gotten better throughout the year. We've got a good mix of younger guys, older guys, guys that have been around the program a long time, and now we're in the thick of it. I think the Crossroads League is as deep as it's ever been this season, and we're looking forward to the challenge tonight against Bethel.
Well, let's start with the 3 guys, Knox, Paul, and White. All 3 of those kids have had outstanding careers, and the thing I keep looking at is Knox is still only a junior. He's a special kid. And speaking from the Bethel perspective, he has got Bethel zeroed, and he's been a dart in a Pilot's side.
Yeah. Well, he's a special player and a really, like you said, a special young man. He's a great leader within our program, Same goes for Isaac White and Jacob Paul, 2 senior guards that have just done a tremendous job of getting better each and every year and taking on big leadership roles this season.
You know, you've won 6 straight against the Pilots, and there's not very many coaches who have winning records against this program, period. I go back in my 20-plus years here. So what's been the key to get this thing on a roll like you're at with 6 straight wins against the Pilots?
Well, you know, one, they've been 6 barn burners. It's felt like every single game against these guys we know it's going to come down to the last few possessions, and we expect the same thing tonight with Coach Draben's team. They're playing tremendous this year. You know, obviously a high octane offensive team, and you know, again, we're looking forward to the challenge ahead.
What concerns you about their group, Jarrett? Obviously, everybody knows where number 3 is on the floor. I mean, you're not living under a rock to know that, but he's a special talent. But he's got some other guys around him that who can play the game as well. Sure,
you know, everything obviously starts with Cruz for them. He's a tremendous college basketball player, and the thing about them, you know, they've got shooters in a lot of different spots. They're very confident shooters out there, and obviously they play at a high up-tempo pace that and I think, you know, tonight the tempo of the game, not necessarily possessions, but the tempo of the game, how long certain possessions are going to be really key.
Break it down real simple. Offensively, defensively, in those 2 areas, what do you have to do to win the game?
Well, defensively, you know, we got to be great in transition. We really got to be great in transition, and we got to really contest certain areas of the floor well, and you got to rebound. You know, there's a lot of, you know, it's a different type of rebounding game, I think, tonight, just because there's going to be a lot of longer rebounds and longer areas. We got to do a great job there. And offensively, we just got to be us. You know, we really got to change sides of the floor, move the ball, and play inside out.
You know, Mark and I have been talking all season long that, you know, the champion of this league could end up with 3 or 4 losses when it's all said and done. I think this league, this current year, is the best from top to bottom it has ever been. You know, you're 6 years into this. What's your take on this Crossroads League?
I agree with that. I think it's as deep as ever. You know, maybe the top 3 teams aren't quite as good as some of the teams in years past, but you know, 1 through 10 every single night, you got to come to play. And you know, right now with 7 teams being in the national rankings, with the defending national champion being, you know, receiving votes, it's just it's incredible. It's a unique, I tell people in Ohio all the time, you know, it's a really unique league that you have to see up close and personal, and it's special, it really is.
Final question, I have to bring it back to the Bethel perspective. You got a young man on your bench who we had a chance to watch grow up here, and Caleb Ochin, who's a graduate assistant for you. He just stopped here by moments ago and said, it's kind of weird being in here, but I'm going to be sitting on the same bench I was before because Steve's changed the benches around. But just talk about Caleb and the impact he's having on the guys around you.
Caleb has been a tremendous addition to our program as our GA this year. You know, he works extremely hard. He's a quick learner, and you know, we're excited to continue to watch his growth in the coaching profession.
Best luck today, Coach.
Thank you.
Once again, we'll be back with more of College Buckets right after this on Regional Radio Sports. Stop by any of the 5 Gates Automotive Group locations now and choose from 100 2019 Chevy Cruises for just $14,988. These low mileage, like new vehicles include factory warranty and are eligible for a 100,000-mile warranty. Stop by Gates Toyota, Gates Chevy World, Gates of Granger, Gates of Elkhorn, or Gates Advantage while supplies last. Go to www.gatesautomotive.com. The Bethel University Pilots in action here tonight to take on the Mount Vernon Nazarene Cougars in a top 12 matchup. Joining us here on the pregame show. Glad to have Steve Draben with us here today. And Steve, first of all, it's obviously you get 7 guys in double figures in the last time out. Obviously you have to feel very, very good about your team's competitiveness on the road and your win against Goshen on Saturday.
Absolutely love the balance. You know, we're one of the strengths of our team, I think, is our depth. We had a lot of guys play well and bring a lot of value to the game. I was pleased when our guys we didn't have a great start to the second half as far as defending and being locked in defensively. And quite honestly, they hit a couple tough shots, and they got it to 4. And I was pleased with our response. We've not been good with the response when teams kind of make runs on us. And I thought from that point on, the rest of the game, even when our some of the guys that came in that don't play a whole lot, I thought we were just more together, more locked in. We were more solid, not taking chances, and just played smart. That's what's going to take tonight. You know, we're playing a really good team that doesn't beat themselves. They're experienced, they're well coached, they're disciplined, like a lot of teams in our league. And we're going to have a more 40-minute effort playing consistently to to compete tonight.
I know you kind of, I don't even use the term struggle. You kind of bounce the ideas off your coaching staff. You and I even talked about changing the lineup and wondered how that was going to affect the chemistry and this, that, or the other. I thought it gave you guys a really nice bounce in your step. I thought the guys came off the bench. They weren't pouting. I thought as the guys were moving in and out of the game, I didn't see any of that. Sometimes you guys get an attitude here, an attitude there. I didn't see any of that on Saturday, and that was really, really neat to see from my vantage point. Yeah. I know you're watching other things, but I see that when they come off the bench.
That's great to hear you say that. I love hearing that from other people. Again, it's hard for me sometimes to notice some of those things, as I'm coaching the game. But we talk about that every single day, about being together and doing things as a unit. When things are going well, stay together. When things aren't going as well, staying together. That's a huge piece. Teams that are successful, have to have that, and that's something that I think we've gotten better with as the years gone on, and as we've had our struggles and ups and downs. I think we've done a good job of staying together.
This is your first time watching Mount Vernon up close and personal. Did you spend any time going back over the last 6 consecutive losses to this team? This team has had the Pilots' number. I mean, they've won every imaginable way where the Pilots have blown leads, lost in double overtime, lost in single overtime. The Pilots found ways to lose in the last 6 games. Have you been able to go back, or do you even bother going back and looking at it because the personnel changes are different?
I like to go back and watch last year's game. Again, we're a different team. You only have 4 guys back, from last year's team. And, Gavin didn't play any conference games last year, I don't think. Jared and Nick Pluta had a little bit of time. But it's really just Cruz that played a good amount of minutes. But I like going back and just watching, how they played against us. And I watched the game at Mount Vernon last year and a little bit of our game here. And it was a great game, great battle. Both teams played hard. It could have gone either way. The one at Mount Vernon for sure. I think they had a 2-point lead. We had 2 free throws we missed, and then had a bad foul. Again, something that we can learn from last year. And hopefully we'll get situational things right if we get in that situation. But, yeah, it's something that I mentioned to our guys for sure that Bethel has lost, and not all of us have been a part of the 6, but lost 6 straight to them. So hopefully that's a little bit motivational for our guys.
Okay, let's turn our attention to their personnel grouping. Obviously, the Knox kid has had a sensational career already at 1,485 points. You look at Jacob Paul, he's a 1,000-point scorer. And then knocking on the door is Isaac White, potentially. If he has a great game today, he could go over 1,000 points. So having 3 1,000-point scorers on a particular roster at the college level, as you well know, as having been a player at the college level, that's a rarity.
I mean, Knox has to be a senior, right? I mean, he's a junior. I keep looking at that like that can't be. I want that to change to a senior every time I look at it.
They say the same thing about Cruz, though.
Yeah, exactly, and Mangus. Those guys are good, and still with another year left. But, man, they have a lot of firepower. They play smart. They play disciplined. They're going to put us in hard defensive situations tonight just with their movement. One of the things, we've talked about with our guys is just being locked in and trying to disrupt. We want to take away their plays and force them into having to make plays. And hopefully when we force them into having to make plays that, we can grind it out and get enough stops, at the end of the day. But, 3, potential 1,000-point scorers. That's quite a load, a task to take on, and I think our guys are ready to step up for the challenge.
Break it down offensively and defensively in those 2 areas. What do you have to do to win the game, Steve?
Offensively, play with pace, player movement, ball movement. I think we have to be aggressive off drives with rub actions. I think we're a good offensive rebounding team that we can hurt them there. The defensive end just disrupt. I thought the teams that have been successful against them have done a good job of just disrupting them and forcing them to make plays. And then at the end of the day, getting those stops. We'll just have to be consistent on that end. The times where we've struggled, we've just not been consistent throughout a 40 minutes.
Best of luck tonight, Coach.
Thank you, Paul.
We'll be back with more Pilots basketball right after this on the Regional Radio Sports Network. Beef O'Brady's in Granger now features Wing Wednesdays. You can check that out tomorrow. Enjoy their award-winning traditional wings for just 79 cents. They also have trivia every Wednesday starting at 7 with prizes awarded located at State Road 23 in Bittersweet. Beef's is open for lunch, and don't forget you can join me every Thursday night for the Coach's Box. I'll be out there live. Our special guest coming up on Thursday will be the head basketball coach of the John Adams Eagles, Chad Johnston, of course, who played here at Bethel. In addition to that, it will be Mark Johnson, who's the head coach of South Bend Adams. Make sure you keep the ton and the sun together there, Coach Gardner.
I'm pretty sure Chad's been called Chad Johnson for many years, and he was a great player, and now he's a great coach, so I don't think he's worried about people getting his name right. He just wants to make sure he's still impacting lives.
Well, we're glad to have Pat Dirksen joining us here on the broadcast. Pat, of course, who played over at Holy Cross, and he's going to be joining our team. And Pat, top 12 matchup. I mean, I know you've had just a throw together, flyby and all this stuff. But, once again, Mark and I spend more time in the Crossroads League than we do in the Chicagoland Collegiate Athletic Conference, where you played. We're a little biased to say this is the best league in the country.
Yeah.
And when you look the fact at this top 20 grouping here, top 25, when you get 5 teams in the top 25 in the Crossroads League like you have here, I think you can boast with a lot of authority, right?
Yeah, this is certainly some high-level basketball being played here. Coach McBride over at Holy Cross always says there's basketball that you see on TV, and then there's everything else. And I anticipate that this will be a good high-level game tonight with a lot of shots fired. These teams like to shoot the 3-ball, and I think we'll see a lot of that tonight.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Let's take a look. Matter of fact, let's go on down to the legendary Brian Miller for today's pregame particulars. And we'll do that. All right. There you go.
One another. Fans, on behalf of the Crossroads League and Bethel University, please enjoy tonight's contest. Ladies and gentlemen, this time we ask you to please rise and kindly remove your caps as Bethel University head women's soccer coach Jamie Linval leads us in tonight's opening prayer.
Father, I thank you for this evening and for these two institutions, these two teams, and what they represent. Just pray that you protect these athletes as they play tonight, and just help us to honor you as we encourage them, and just help them to display the talents you've given them all tonight. That's your name. Amen.
Thank you. Fans, please remain standing as we honor America and those who serve and protect our great country with the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner. Tonight's national anthem will be performed by Bethel University senior Michaela Love.
Whose broad stripes
Once again, good evening, ladies. Welcome to Mike Lightfoot Court inside the Gates Gymnasium here on the campus of Bethel University. This is the Y-Camp Center. Thank you for attending tonight's men's basketball Crossroads League matchup between the visitors, the Cougars of Mount Vernon Nazarene University, and the home team, your Bethel University Pilots. Let's meet the starting lineups now, powered by First Source Bank, your partners from the first. First for the visitors from Mount Vernon. At one guard, a 6'2 junior from Marysville, Ohio, number 4, Devin Knox. At another guard, 5'9 senior from Canton, Ohio, wearing number 10, Jacob Paul. Also at guard for the Cougars, a 6' senior from Ashland, Ohio, number 11, Isaac White. At a forward, 6'7 senior from Cincinnati, Ohio, number 15, Austin Jones. And at forward, a 6'5 junior from Cincinnati, Ohio, number 21, Alex Johnson. The Cougar coaching staff, head coach Jared Renee, assistants Matt Bradley, Jason Renee, Will Smith, and graduate assistant for Mount Vernon, a former Bethel Pilot standout, old number 10, Caleb Ochen. Welcome back. Boys and girls, BU fans of all ages, Y-Camp Wackos, let me hear you. Let your light shine. And now introduce the starting lineup. Here we go, the starting lineup for the home team, your Bethel University Pilots. At one guard, a 6' senior from Fort Wayne, Indiana, number 2, Keontae Jenkins. And another guard for BU, 6' junior from Fort Wayne, Indiana, number 3, Trevion Cruz. And forward for your Pilots, he's a 6'6 freshman from Valparaiso, Indiana, number 15, Nathan Ertz. At center for your Pilots, a 6'8 freshman from Monrovia, Indiana, number 25, Maxwell Newman. And a guard, 6'5 junior from Crown Point, Indiana. He wears number 30, Grant Galen. Bethel coaches are Mark Paulsgrove, Alex Daniel, Will Abbott. Managers Elijah Andrews and Micah Gabler. Head coach of your Pilots in his first season, a 2004 Belmont graduate, is Steve Draven.
All right, thanks to the legendary Brian Miller. I'm Paul Condry, along with Coach Mark Gardner. Pat Dirksen joining us, Tiny Condry with all the details upstairs. Pilots, gray shorts, gray jerseys, blue numbers, Bethel written in white on the front. They'll be moving from right to left, respectively. Mount Vernon with the dark blue jerseys and shorts with the gray trim. The dark green numbers are trim in dark gray, or in light gray, and MVNU written in black letters on the front. Cougars move from left to right on your screen. Pilots from right to left. We're underway. 17-3, sixth-ranked Cougars. Number 11, Pilots, 17-3. Glad you can join us for this top 12 matchup here in the Crossroads League. With the basketball at the top of the circle, Isaac White goes right side now here to Paul. Paul dribbles to the top, swings to the far side now to Knox. Deep left corner, 6 on the shot clock. Back out here to the top. Fadeaway jump shot, and good. Oh my! Ice water his veins for Isaac White. He scores to give his club a 2-0 lead.
That's disheartening. You defend well for 29 seconds, and he hits the bailout jumper.
Here's a backdoor pass to Grant Galen, and he scores. And he was fouled.
Great set to open things up here. You know everybody's going to deny Grant from three-point range, so you catch him out there in the corner, you get the denial, ball fake, backdoor layup.
Little story on that. I mentioned to Steve that I think when Grant scores early and gets a positive situation going, and he said he'll see what goes on, and so they worked a set.
So we're going to give you credit for that. You called that play. Well done, man.
So with the basketball, you know what I'm saying, though.
I agree. Here's Knox. Got to get out of him, KJ.
Knox over here, skip pass over now to the far wing, now to Paul. Paul comes into the left elbow now to Jones. Jones gives back now to Paul. Paul looks for a cutter. Now goes to Jones. Jones matched up against Max. Max Newman digging in defensively. Paul up and under. Traveling called on Austin Jones.
And I was going to say, before the ball even went to the post, Maxwell's doing a great job against Jones, banging on him, not drawing a foul, making him work just for positioning. Played equally well once he got the ball, so good defensive start for the Pilots.
Trevion Cruz now with the basketball in the half-court set, dribbles around a right side screen, hands it off down to Keontae Jenkins. Jenkins wide open, 18-footer, way off the rim, no good. A rebound coming out of nowhere was Alex Johnson. Johnson double team, ball deflected and stolen by Max Newman. Max, he throws it away.
Up, Max, just pick it up.
Here's Knox back the other way. Long pass into the deep right corner to White. White, Pilots relentless in the early stages defensively. Here's a drive shot, no good by Alex Johnson. And here come the Pilots to move from right to left on your screen, leading 3-2. Here's the All-American around a high side screen. Launches the triple off the iron, no good. Rebound, Alex Johnson, the Cincinnati native, with a nice play there.
And I like that look for the Pilots. I like Trevion coming off that screen, looking to score early.
Here is Jacob Paul going to the far side now to White. White comes back out to the
Good
top,
read.
and there's a near steal by Keontae Jenkins. But, Mark, these guys are dialed in, man.
They've left 4 points on the floor, unfortunately. Great trap by Max and Tip. Kind of panicked and thought he was going to get away with the travel when they could have corralled that and gotten the layup in that one there. Excellent read by KJ. Just couldn't corral it and go the other way.
Jacob Paul now here with the ball on the near side, 45-foot mark. Now goes to the far side. At the top of the circle, he'll launch the long three. It's a brick, no good. Rebound, here come the Pilots from right to left now. Here is Cruz here at the top of the ring now. Looks, goes near side wing, now to Ayers, to the deep corner to Jenkins. Now inside to Max Newman. Newman's going to back in. Leans, shoots, scores from the left block. 5-2 Pilots, 5-0 run.
Good to see Max off to a great start. Got in foul trouble early at Goshen, had to sit for most of the half, and playing well here in the first three.
Max, who had 11 points and 5 rebounds on the road at Goshen. Here is Johnson backing in, swings it over here to the right side, shot in and out, no good for Jacob Paul. And now here's KJ on the push
He's
out.
got Newman. If he
goes
looks, there you go.
Goes inside to Max. Oh, and Max is drilled. Boy, what a great head and shoulder fake. Pat Dirksen, you remember those kind of plays, don't you?
Yeah, those are the ones that kind of make you sit back in your seat and kind of shrivel up. That's a scary play underneath, but a good shot fake to draw that foul.
We're glad to have Pat Dirksen joining us here on the broadcast now. He played over at Holy Cross. He joined our team, and it'll be Cruz to inbound the basketball to the right of the lane.
Pilot bench wanted a two-shot foul. Max is a 60% foul shooter. I'm okay inbounding this underneath their own bucket.
Here's the ball in the hands of Jenkins. Jenkins drives down the left side of the lane. Had it stripped away. Nice job defensively by Isaac White of the Cougars.
Yeah, KJ attacking the double team.
Here's Knox
getting it
with
back
a drive.
there.
Oh, nice.
Good job by
double
KJ.
team by KJ.
Great officiating there. Marcus didn't see it down low. He called what he saw, and right away, as he called it, he looked at Steve Mazingo, and Steve came in and said, I had a better view. And I think that's the right call. None of the Pilots started down the floor when the ball went out of bounds.
5-2 Pilots here at the 16:48 mark. Back out to the top now. Here's Austin Jones handing it off to Knox. Knox, he's drugged that pivot foot. No call. Jump shot by Jones, no good. Rebound tracked down by Nathan Ayers.
I love seeing three Pilots fight for the rebound.
Here is Jenkins with a drive down the left side of the lane. Spins, shoots, shot blocked by Jones. Pushing it up now, Isaac White. Now finds Knox. Knox inside for the score to close the gap to 5-4.
It's too bad you've defended so well on Knox for 3.5 minutes, and then he gets his first 2 points in the easy breakaway. It's a great defense down there by Jones, responding because KJ thought he had a layup.
Cruz goes up high now here to Newman. Newman back out to Cruz. Cruz comes around a screen. Will drive down the lane, kick out here to KJ. Back out here to a wide open Nathan Ayers, way off the rim. Knocks the rebound, and here is Alex Johnson cherry picking with the one-hand dunk. 6'5" Cougars.
Yeah, Ayers knew it was off, and so he rushed in to get his own rebound, and the guy that was guarding him knew it was off and just took off down the floor for an easy layup.
Jenkins with the ball. Pilots cold shooting to start things out here. Jenkins with a drive, running one-hander way off the rim. Max Newman kicks it back out here to Ayers. Ayers on the pass from Cruz. Pass inside Newman. Shot.
That's got to be goaltend. That's got to be goaltend.
And there, no call.
Media
timeout finds the home team trailing by 1, 6-5. Think about the people who really get you, like your favorite sportscaster who knows you need your wings dry rubbed with ranch dressing, or like State Farm agent Eric Gunther. Eric Gunther is here to understand your life and help protect what's important. Call him today at 574-291-1597. Once again, Eric Gunther, State Farm Insurance, like a good neighbor. State Farm is there. Also, our game is being presented in part by First Source Bank. First Source Bank is excited about hiring Bethel students and alumni, too. Check out your partners from the First at www.firstsource.com. First Source Bank, proud supporter of Bethel University Athletics. And also our coverage today being presented by Qubit Networks of LaPorte. You can buy technology from anyone, but Qubit Networks is the difference you have been looking for. They strive to provide highly innovative solutions to your unique technology needs. Qubit Networks is passionate about you, and they're dedicated to make your purchase the great experience and one that you'll never forget. For more information on Qubit Networks, call them at 219-324-9900 or on the World Wide Web at www.qubitnet.com.
All right, Paul, Pilots shooting 2 of 9 in the early going, 0 of 3 from downtown. The visitors are 3 of 7, also 0 of 3 from downtown.
I like the energy, though, Coach.
I do, and this is if there's no scoreboard, you think the Pilots are, and actually they're dominating this game, but those back-to-back layups have them down by 1.
There's a pass inside to Newman. Mack fakes. Shot rejected by Jones again.
That's his 3rd block shot.
He is playing well here in the early stages.
That's his 3rd block shot. Now, my concern, Pilots are 0 of 3 from three-point range, and Ertz has taken 2 of those 3 threes. I want Cruz, KJ, and Grant being first option on those.
Nick Pluto will check into the ball game now for Max Newman.
It's a great
Pluto
start,
with a great game on Saturday on the road. 15 points and 2 rebounds.
And an equally great facial look with the
peach fuzz.
You get the little Fu Manchu starting there. It's just early, though.
Over here on the right side wing, now here's Isaac White. White guarded by Galen. Wrap around to Jones in the post, matched up against Pluto. Goes back here to the right side, shot on the way. Good from 3 from Isaac White. It's now 9-5 in favor of the visitors.
White shoots 52% from three-point range. That's his 37th triple this season.
Cruz on the drive down the lane. Ball's on the floor. Ricochets into the hands of who? And we have a jump ball. Now they're going to be a timeout. Mount Vernon, as Paul was able to snag the pumpkin. Our coverage today will be presented in part by our friends here at the Gates Automotive Group. Gates Automotive Group with 5 locations across the Michiana area. They have all types of vehicles for you at Gates Toyota, Gates Chevrolet, Gates of Elkhart, Gates of Granger, and Gates Advantage. For more information, the website is www.gatesautomotive.com. Mark, let's take a look at what's going along in the Crossroads League tonight.
You got Huntington at Taylor. Huntington 1-7, Taylor 3-5. Goshen at 0-8 at Spring Arbor, who's 3-5 this year. Number 2, Iwu at 7-1, travels over to number 18, Grace. Grace sitting at 5-3. They've lost their last 2. And number 21, St. Francis, travels to number 8, Marion. St. Francis at 5-3, Marion at 6-2. So that's a big one in the standings.
And now with the basketball, the Cougars to move from left. They'll have some new pilots to be faced with. Jared Dehart's on the floor now, to be joined out there by Cruz, Jenkins, Ertz, and Nick Pluta. As now to move from left to right now will be Isaac White as he gives the ball back here to Milton Gage. Gage double team. Back out here to the top now to Jones. To the far side wing now White. White 3-point shot, no good. Rebound deflected off of Eric McLaughlin. No, they're going to say it went off a pilot.
Yeah, DeHart hit that out. He's trying to fend off McLaughlin. That's a tough matchup there. McLaughlin at 6'6". And Jared fighting for that rebound at 6 foot and probably closer to 5'11".
David Delahunty checks into the game now. And also Alex Johnson has the ball out here high. Comes back to Knox. Knox reverses it back here to Johnson. Johnson just runs over Keontae Jenkins, and he takes the charge. That'll be a turnover on the Cougars. Also in the ball game is Milton Gage. Gage, a product of Chaminade Julian High School in Trotwood, Ohio, a freshman. And as soon as I say that about Alex Johnson back into the game will be Jacob Paul.
And that's Johnson's second foul. 3 on the team, but 2 early ones on Johnson. Both teams now with 3 turnovers.
Now here's Cruz now over the timeline now. Flares to the near side wing. Now goes back to the top. Hesitates, goes to Jenkins in the corner. Keontae for 3. Shot up the rim, no good. Knocks the rebound. Jevin Knox over the timeline now. Comes around a high side screen here from Delahunty. Back to the far side now to Paul. Jacob Paul matched up against Jenkins. Drives, kick back out here to the top now to McLaughlin. His three-point shot is no good. Pluta taps the rebound over here to Cruz. Up court quickly now. Jared Dehart on the near side wing. Dehart goes now here to Jenkins at the top now. Fakes, goes to Ertz, back to Dehart in the corner. Inside to Pluta. Pluta's going to back in, lowers his shoulder. Shot no good. Ertz taps the rebound around, and it's finally controlled by the Cougars as the Pilots can't buy a basket.
2 of 12 from the floor now with good looks.
Here's Knox with the pass out here to the top. That's a travel, no call by Delahunty. Now over on the far side, it's Gage. Gage, wrap around to the low post, back to the top to Knox. Knox going to come around a screen. Jump pass inside, tipped away and stolen by Jared Dehart. And then Pluta saves the day on the loose ball. Here is Nathan Ertz with a drive and a foul on the dribble drive. As poorly as they have shot, they're only down 4, Mark.
Yeah, and the energy's there, the effort's there, everything you want to see except for the ball going through the basket. You know, there's been other nights we've seen it where no energy and no enthusiasm. They're just knocking down every shot. I'd rather have this.
And now Gavin Rassler checks in. Live Granville also checks into the ball game now. Here's Cruz out here at the top. Comes around a high side screen, drives down the lane, shot in, score. That makes it a 9-7 ball game as Travion's on the score for the first time tonight, 7 minutes in.
I feel like Gage kind of poked the bear. Full court press last possession on that out of bounds there. He was really leaning on Travion, and Travion went right to the rack on him.
Here's Gage with the basketball back out to the top now to Delahunty. Into the far side. Paul matched up against Live Granville. Comes back out to the top. Shot well off the mark on the offering by David Delahunty. He's only made 6 of those on the season. A 40% three-point shooter. Dehart at the top now. Drives down the right. Kicks back out to Granville. Granville inside, powers. Shot no good. Ball deflected around, and I think it went off the Cougars. Oh, no.
Yeah. We didn't have the same angle Marcus had on that, but I thought it was off the Cougars.
Javon Knox will get a break. Also, David Delahunty checks out. As back onto the floor will be University of Massachusetts Lowell transferred Isaac White, who prepped at Ashland High School in Ohio. Here's Gage with the basketball. Comes up high now here to McLaughlin. Back out to the top now. Here's White. White, 18-foot shot right side. In and out, no good. Rebound, Pluta. Goes to Cruz in transition. Jump pass out here to Pluta. Pluta back over here to Jared Dehart. Dehart fakes. Comes back now here to Rassler. Rassler, 3, well off the rim, no good. Pluta grabs the rebound. Nick bouncing in. Looks for some help. Had it stripped away, and then back to Cruz at the top now. Travion Cruz around a screen. Pull up 18-footer. Good. Game tied 9-9.
We've seen Pluta mature, Paul.
Big time.
Last year, Pluta would have pulled the 3 on that when he was trailing because he was wide open, or he'd have forced that shot down low. Instead, he backed it out, found Travion for the easy deuce.
Here's Jacob Paul going inside now to Jones. Jones matched up against Pluta. Drives and shoots with the left hand and scores.
Here comes the flop warning. So, flop warning.
Okay.
On Pluta, but it actually goes to the entire team. Now, if anybody else flops from this point forward, it's a technical foul, 1 shot and the ball. Doesn't have to be Nick, so any other player for the Pilots. So now you got to be smart because we do have a few guys on this team that like to hit the deck when there's not a whole lot of contact.
Come on now.
There's a couple guys. I won't call them out. They know who they are.
Rassler goes now here to Dehart. Hands it off now to Cruz.
Oh, there's a shove.
Cruz looking for some help. Going to drive right. Pull up 14-footer. Good. You've angered him now, Mark. I think you hit the nail on the head. Pilots in a 6-0 run.
Yeah, Gage came out. Most teams don't full court press him, and Gage did. And then that out-of-bounds play, I saw Travion kind of get an elbow up near his face because Gage was leaning on him. And
here's Knox, goes back to the left side now to McLaughlin. His shot no good, and Rassler.
Yeah, silly foul, but he did. He hit him in the head. It's a good call by Derek Etherington over there. And I think
that'll be 3 free throws for number 12 as he's been outstanding at the line thus far this year, 7 of 9.
But only 9 free throws. So the discussion over there on the flop, too, with the official. He came over and Bethel bench was questioned. He missed the first. And the official said he didn't make contact. And I think what the official meant was he didn't make solid contact.
I had 11-9.
No, they scored on the flop. On the Pluto flop, there was a bucket. Jones put it in. But, yeah, so the official was just explaining to the Bethel bench, said, hey, go back and watch the film. He fell on the spin move. So
I tell you what, you got it done.
2 out of 3.
Not bad. 13-11, 11:02 to go here in the first half of play. Cougars by 2. On the floor, it's Newman, Granville, Cruz, DeHart. Boy, Life.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there. Yeah, Life threw it behind him.
Now with the basketball, Jared DeHart.
And
DeHart.
Life's getting early minutes. He's not used to getting the early minutes.
There's a pass inside now here to Cruz. Fadeaway 14-footer. In and out, no. Rebound. Picked up by who? Austin Jones. Good look by Travion on the play. Here's Knox now with the ball in the half-court set, guarded by Granville. Goes now here to Jones at the top now. Austin Jones stops, looks.
Oh, he missed.
Goes back over to the far side to Eddie Driscoll, who just checked in. Here's Knox. Jump shot from 19, good. Making it 15-11 in favor of the Cougars at the 10-18 mark.
He's so smooth. That's only his second shot. He had the breakaway layup and then that one.
Here is Max Newman with a wide-open shot, and he's going to get –
we got the wrong guy. He's throwing up 3 balls.
He's going to get benched for that. He's been told not to.
No, he's going to stay in there. Travion saying, what are you pulling me for, Coach? That's the leadership and the competitor in Travion. If he had his way, he'd play 42 minutes in every 40-minute game.
Galen checks back into the game now. So it's Jenkins, Galen, Rassler. There is Galen with a basketball. Backing in, looking for some help. Goes down Newman. Back here to DeHart. Back here to Jenkins. Over here to Rassler. Rassler here on the near side. Nice bounce pass here to Newman with the spinner, and he scores on the back door. Nice play by Rassler and Newman hooking it up.
I was not happy with the shot. I wanted him to just go up and go through the defense, but he got the kiss off the glass.
Here's Knox with a look, drives, shoots, and scores again. Knox is starting to heat up now. He's got 6.
Yeah, last 2, and when their pump fake step through, finish off the glass.
Here's Jenkins with the basketball driving down the left side of the lane. He is fouled on the dribble drive by Jacob Paul.
Paul's first, team's 5th, but the officials seem to be rewarding teams for dribble drive contact, so quit settling. You're 0 of 8 from three-point range. Pump fake gets the basket.
Absolutely. Rassler to inbound along the near sideline near Caleb Ochin down there. There's a pass into the corner, Rassler. Jump pass here to DeHart. DeHart looking. Lobs it inside now here to Max Newman. Back to DeHart. DeHart on the drive. Jump pass out here to KJ. Ball deflected, and now here's Jenkins. Quickly over the timeline out around the back. Shot inside with a finger roll, and he scores.
Wow.
17-15. KJ with a sensational move.
I don't know if he knew there was 2 on the shot clock or he just had his mind made he was going to the rim, irregardless.
Here's Knox matched up against Jenkins. Spins it back to Jones. Jones with a wide open 3. Good. Making it 20-15. 8:50 to go. Back the other way. DeHart for 3. Good!
How about that?
20-18. DeHart lights the lamp, and for DeHart, his 16th of the year.
And his roles change, going from a starter to coming off the bench. He's expected to bring that energy. There's Knox on the other end.
Knox another 14-footer.
Knox now 4-4 from the floor.
Here is Jenkins back the other way. Drive, shot, and a foul. And KJ going to the line, and that will be the 6th, or is that the 15th foul now?
6th, and it's going to be the 2nd foul on Jacob Paul. Well, that's a good job by KJ attacking. He's been fouled twice now.
And now to go to the charity stripe will be Keontae Jenkins, the Fort Wayne native. Had 10 points, 4 rebounds against Goshen on Saturday. Having 10 points, 4 rebounds, and 80% free throw shooter. Averages 1.5 assists, 1.5 turnover, and 1 steal in every game. It's now 22,
So Delahunty, McLaughlin, and Gage check in. So important for the Pilots to match up now with 3 subs that just came in there at that.
22-20 as KJ is able to score. And now to walk it over Milton Gage, a 5'11", 170-pound freshman. Angles over to the far side wing. Now back to the top. Goes back to the far side now to Delahunty. Here's Knox on the drive. Kick out here, near wing. McLaughlin, shot good from 3. 25-20 in favor of the Cougars at the 8:04 mark.
And that's the 25th triple for the 6'6".
Jenkins goes left side now to Dehart. Inside to Newman. Newman looking for some help. Newman from the near block shot, got it to go. Make it a 25-22. Max Newman with a fine play in the low post.
Max with 6 now. Pilots got to get stop, score, stop here.
Delahunte comes over here to the right side. Now here's Knox coming around the screen. Shot on the way, good from 18. Making it 27-22. Knox, this is what he's done so well against the Pilots his career. Here is Jenkins with the ball now. Pull-up shot from 3, good! KJ lights the lamp. Pilots, their second triple of the evening, 27-25.
More importantly, second triple in a row. See if they can get a stop and get another one.
Knox comes back out here to the left side now to McLaughlin, and McLaughlin answers with the 3, 30-25. 7:03 to go in the half.
Pre-game.
Cougars by 5.
Pat Dirksen joining us tonight said during the pregame we're going to see a lot of 3 balls tonight.
With the ball out here to the top now, goes right side now. Here's Dehart. Jared Dehart waiting for some help. Comes back here to Jenkins. KJ matched up against, goes back to the free throw line to Newman. Back to Dehart. Dehart looking for some help. Goes now here to Galen. Galen, long 3. Off the iron it goes. KJ the rebound. KJ to the goal. Finger roll, score!
Great ball fake. KJ now with 9. He put the ball in his left hand like he was going to pass it to Max. The defender slid over and they finger roll.
Deep right corner now. There you go. Back here to the top. Here's White. Jump shot from 18 straight on, hard off the iron. Keontae Jenkins the rebound. KJ on the push out. Goes left side now to Ertz. Ertz to the goal. Scores! 1-point ball game. 30-29 as Ertz is able to score.
Ertz and Newman now both with some crazy shots for the finish. Pilots now going 2-3 zone. We saw some zone against Goshen. And I can guarantee that Mount Vernon's going to set up their best play to get Jevin Knox a look here on this.
There's Knox with the ball here at the top now. Dribbles in between the rings. Ball reversal back to Milton Gage. Back to Knox. Knox thinks about the triple. Goes up here. Shot clock winding down. Gage on the drive. Shot no good. Tipped up by Newman into the hands of Dehart. Pilots can take the lead now. KJ, shot on the way. Good! Pilots lead 32-30. 5:28 to go. And a timeout on the floor. Mount Vernon Nazarene.
So the Pilots took Travion out when they were trailing, to his frustration. And now he gets to come back in after a 4.5-minute break and a 2-point lead. But you know, when you start terrible from 3-point range and then you start knocking down threes, good things happen. So
our coverage of Bethel University sports being presented in part by the Gates Automotive Group. During the Gates Automotive Group's Fast Start Sale, choose from 100 2019 Chevy Cruze vehicles for just $14,988 while supplies last. Special finance terms are available, so hurry in for the best choice in color at Gates Toyota, Gates Chevy World, Gates of Granger, and Gates of Elkhart, or Gates Advantage. Once again, for more information, www.gatesautomotive.com. Before I go over to Mark, let's get a thought here from our new man on the job, Pat Dirksen. Pat, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think you've seen Bethel kind of settle in now and find their rhythm offensively. You had Jenkins attacking early after they were settling for threes, and that kind of opened things up. And then he had, everybody catching fire. So it'll be interesting to see here in this zone if they can continue to get stops and then keep pushing in transition, look to score early in possessions.
Bethel started 3 of 13. They're 10 of their last 15 shots from the floor.
Here is Gage coming back here to the far side.
And Knox is out of the game against the zone, which is advantage Pilots.
Back over here, right side, Paul. Paul goes to the right elbow. Now here to McLaughlin. A wide open look. No good from Paul. Galen the rebound now. Now here's the push from right to left. Now Grant Galen hands it off to Cruz. Cruz, not a Dylan Sheehy Giuseppe. Here is Cruz on the drive. Big set up from the right block. Pilots lead 34-30.
Travion now with 8, KJ with 12. Pilots out rebounding Mount Vernon 16-10.
Here's Paul with the basketball. Skip pass to a wide open Isaac White. Dry spaceline cut off. Back to Gage. Gage 3, no good. Rebound comes, and it'll be a foul on Austin Jones. Pushing off on Grant Galen.
And I love it. Austin Jones pointed and said, on me, and the official said yes, and he nodded his head. in a day and age where we see so many guys complain about every call, that's going to send Grant Galen down to shoot.
Once again, glad you can join us here today for college basketball. We're going to take a quick timeout, come back with more. The Pilots on a roll have responded in fine fashion in the midst of a 9-0 run. We'll tell you about it when we come back from the break. Once again, you are listening and watching Bethel University Sports on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
With the TCU Debit MasterCard that gives you cash back on everyday purchases. Plus, you'll win with access to hundreds of free ATMs across Indiana. Check out TCU's starting lineup of services to help you manage your cash and build your savings. Visit TCUnet.com to kick off your better banking experience. See TCU Debit MasterCard terms and conditions for details. Alliance One and Co-op ATMs within Indiana are free. New members are subject to a $7 membership fee and $5 initial share deposit.
Paul Condry, Mark Gardner, Pat Dirksen, Tiny Condy with all the details upstairs. Glad you can join us there for this key Crossroads League men's basketball game. Mark and I'll be back here again tomorrow as the women of these two representative schools will play. And Amanda Short's squad doing really, really well on the Mount Vernon side. The Pilots hoping to get off the schneid.
Pilots 1-11 over their last 12, and that was a buzzer beater by Maggie DuBois down in Florida.
And here's Greg Galen knocking down a pair of free throws. Bethel has its largest lead of the
That's good stuff
of the night at 36.
You get a defensive stop and you come down, you get two free ones. Travion was shaking his head when he went out, and he comes back into the game with a big smile on his face because his teammates picked him up and played great.
How about the, I'm not going to take any business from anybody, performance by Nick Pluta coming in.
Right, yeah, a great minutes from Pluta. DeHart and KJ playing well in their role reversal, one starting now for the other.
Knox with the basketball, comes back out high, now here to White. White flares right, goes back to the top, now to McLaughlin, now to Knox. Knox drives, kicks it into the corner, now here to Paul.
Good
Paul had it stripped away by Cruz. Cruz on 3-on-2 if he hurries.
He's got Galen on his right.
Here's Zalam inside. Galen scores on the alley-oop from Cruz. 38-30. Bethel, 4:02 to go.
Yeah, surprised Grant didn't just spot up from 25 feet out, but I like that decision right there.
Here's Knox with a wide open three, way off the rim. It's an air ball. Dylan Sheehy was there defensively. Now here's Cruz, top of the circle for three, in and out, no good. Rebound. Oh, Isaac White just traveled.
This place would have went nuts if that would have dropped. Good look.
Here's White with the ball here, out to the top now to Jones. Swings it to Knox on the far side wing. Wrap around low post now. Gonna back it in, kick back out. Here's Paul to Knox. Knox in between the rings, goes right wing here now to Jones. Austin Jones backs it out here quickly to the far wing, now to Paul. Jacob Paul looks, skips it back to the top now. McLaughlin, jumper, three. Good. Great shot by Eric McLaughlin.
That's a great closeout. Ertz had a hand in his face. McLaughlin knocked down his third triple of the night. He's got 11 points.
Cruz with the ball here.
I like him attacking right here. His defender has 2 fouls already.
Cruz wrap around back to the top, now to Max. Max with a wide open three, no good. Great Galen tipped it out here, but McLaughlin snags it away.
Max going to continue to get wide open threes because he's only made 5 on the season.
Here's Knox on the drive down the lane. He traveled, no call, now goes back to Jones. Back to Knox. Knox, oh, nice pass to Jones. What a pass by Knox. 38-35, a 5-0 run for the Cougs.
Underhand pass, leading Jones right to the rack. And again, you got Paul playing with 2 fouls here, so try and isolate him and see if Travion can get to the rack. 2-3 zone now for Mount Vernon.
Here's Dylan Sheehy with the ball over on the right wing. Backs it out. Now goes back to the top to Ertz, free throw line. Quickly in the corner to Cruz. Cruz, three, no good. Ertz the rebound, goes back up, and he was hammered, but he'll earn 2 freebies.
Paul, I said every game, hardest thing to do in his zone is to box out. There's no guarantee there's going to be anybody near you, so you have to crash against zones and make them pay, and that's exactly what Nate Ertz did.
Nathan Ertz, a 60% free throw shooter, averages 7 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, a turnover in every game, coming off a 10.5 rebound performance.
He just missed the rim completely. Steve Mozinga's laughing down there in the basket, I think. I'm not sure what. So foul was called on McLaughlin, so that's his second. And Nate was wide right there. He pulled a Scott Norwood.
Second free throw good. So 1 of 2, 39-35.
Great job defensively for Dylan Sheehy on Knox. Great extra pass there in that last possession as well.
On the floor for the Pilots now, it's Pluta, Ertz, Cruz, DeHart, and Galen. As Paul's over the timeline now. Paul looking for some help, comes to Knox at the top of the ring now. Knox still on the look, matched up against Cruz. And that one's deflected out of bounds. The Pilots will take advantage of the turnover.
Travion Cruz forcing that turnover with great ball pressure, getting out there.
Pilots mark against teams ranked in the top 10, 35-63 overall. We welcome you to today's broadcast. In case you're just joining us, this is the 26th meeting all-time between these two clubs. Bethel leads the all-time series, 15-11. However, Mount Vernon has won the last 6 straight. Here's Cruz. Jump pass to Galen. Galen, 3. Nothing but the bottom of the net. 42-35. Galen with a 3 ball.
I'm not a genius, but if I'm going to go 2-3 zone against this Pilot team, I know where number 30's at.
Here's the ball in the hands of White. Lost the handle on it. Swings it to Jones.
That's a charge there.
Jones looking for some help. Waits for a cutter. Back out here to Knox. Knox matched up here. Double team. Knox with the double team.
He dribbled it twice.
And they score a basket on Knox. He double dribble.
He dropped it and then picked it up and got the shot off. And the Pilots quit playing. They were looking for the call.
Now here's Cruz with the ball over the timeline now with 68 seconds to go.
Mount Vernon out of that zone quickly.
Here's the ball in the hands of Cruz at the top now. Cruz matched up against Jones, goes to DeHart. DeHart goes back to Cruz. Cruz will launch the triple and bury it. 45-37, Travion Cruz.
Travion with 11 now in the first half.
Ball at the top now. Jones. And a hand check call on Nick Pluta. Good call by the official.
Nothing wrong with that. It's only the third team foul, 45 seconds to go. It's okay.
And now Knox to inbound the ball. I just can't believe they didn't call that.
Yeah, but disappointed that the two Pilots players that had the trap, instead of playing through it, both looked at the official. And you got to play till you hear a whistle.
Dylan Sheehy will check into the game now here for Grant Galen.
See if he can, the Pilots are in zone defense. So.
It's Knox to trigger the inbounds. Knox who came into the game with 1,400 plus points on his career. Now ball in the hands of Jacob Paul. Goes to the far side now to White. Shot clock at 13, game clock at 35. Knox in the corner, goes now here to Jones in the middle. Jones double team, back out here, throwing away. Pilots create the turnover as Isaac White tried to do a little Mark Belanger short hopped it at shortstop.
Our listeners are too young to understand that reference, but he was a great Orioles shortstop.
Ozzie Smith?
Okay, there you go.
That help?
Derek Jeter.
Okay. By the way, congratulations goes to Derek Jeter.
Derek Jeter, Larry Walker getting the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame.
Here we are in the final play of the half now.
7 turnovers now on the visitors.
Cruz now waiting out here at the 45-foot mark. There's something on the floor, Mark, right in the middle of the floor.
Yep.
Here's Cruz with the ball on the near wing with 10. Cruz back in and out at 7. Cruz at 6. Will launch the 3 and bury it.
Too easy.
48-37. Travion Cruz scores with 2 seconds to go. And the Pilots will go to the locker room. I hate to remind you, Mark, but I've seen this movie before. 48-37 Pilots. Boy, were they locked in defensively. Let's get a thought here from Bethel assistant coach Mark Polsgrove. Mark, I thought the defensive intensity right from the opening tip was outstanding. Your observations?
Yeah, it was outstanding. Probably the best of the year so far. Obviously something we've really been working on, and our guys have been locked into the game plan the past 2 days for their actions and their personnel and what they like to do. And obviously we're really happy with the first half. We got to do it for the second, though.
I tell you what, it's great to see Nick Pluta have come of age as of late. Mark and I were talking earlier in the game how much he has matured. There was one particular play that Mark, I think you mentioned, that thought he would have pulled the ball out and would have taken a crazy three.
Yeah, when he was trailing that break, he would have jacked a three last year, no doubt about it. And today he took care of it, gets it to Travion, and we get two.
Yeah, I thought he was really good early in the season, and he's continued to get better. And then, he had that ankle injury, and that really set him back. And he's finally starting to hit his stride again. So we're obviously happy to have him back and playing to what he can.
Okay, what are you going to address at the half?
Continue the defensive intensity. We got to know personnel. Personnel is going to be extremely important. And then they're going to throw a couple punches in the second half. It's going to be a game of runs, and so we got to respond to when they make their run.
All right, Mark, thanks for stopping by. Pilots a 48-37 leader. I spent some time with Philip Segota as we're going to go through our Bethel profiles. I spent some time with Philip earlier today, and he's not playing today because of an injury on Saturday to his back. We're anticipating to have him back, but I spent some time with the big fella from Belgrade, and hope you enjoy. Welcome back here at the half. Glad to be joined by Philip Segota, and the 6'7", 210-pound freshman. He's doing a wonderful job for the Pilots, averaging 4 points, a smidge under 4 rebounds a game. Philip, okay, first of all, let's just talk about making the move to America. Has America been what you thought it was going to be?
Well, first, thank you, Paul, for getting me here. And, this is really big experience for me. Biggest experience in my life coming here to America. So I didn't have much of expectation. I just went here to go through it and see what it is about, and I'm not disappointed.
All right, I want you to take me back and how this whole thing encountered. Can we do that in the abbreviated version?
Yes, of course. So the one season before I came here, I decided it's better for me to come here, especially because of academics. And then I worked for a whole season. I played that season, and I was working for coming here, and I came here.
Okay, so let's talk about getting used to most of these kids on your team. They understand America. They've grown up here. For you, it's the culture's different, the language is different, the food is different, everybody's different. So what's been the biggest eye-opening experience for you?
Yes, definitely. They're used to it. And I was thinking about it, like, they're here for whole their life, and I'm only here for like a couple of months, and I need to get used to it. But I think I did a good job. I'm listening to what coach is saying, what my older players, teammates are saying, and I'm trying to learn every day.
One of the things that Coach Draben really, really likes about you is that you're a gym rat. You're a guy who just works all the time on improving your game. Have you seen as much improvement as I have seen from me watching? I think you've improved dramatically.
Yes, definitely. And if you look at the beginning of the season, I didn't play that much. Then at one moment I just got back to being me and like staying in the gym after practice for 1 hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, and just working on usually on my inside game, and as you can see that is showing off.
What do you like about being here at Bethel University and your teammates?
First of all, like, this is place like Christian school. I really got to know God here, and that is one big part I like about this school. Then people here are really like, they're open, and they will always help you if you need anything. And about my teammates, well, they're always there for me. So even if it doesn't go so good, if it goes good, they're always there for me.
When you look at playing in this Crossroads League, it's the best conference in the country. And I'm sure you heard the horror stories and you've heard all the other things about how difficult it is. What's been your take as you've gone through the first time around in this very competitive Crossroads League?
So yeah, I heard only the best things about this conference. And when we started 3-0, I was thinking like, it's not going to be that hard, but then everything changed, and we found out that we need to work for everything here, and nobody's gonna give nothing to us. We need to work for everything.
All right, final question. And when you look at where you're at academically, spiritually, as far as a basketball player, had I told you were going to be where you're at today when you walked on this campus for the first time, would you have believed it?
No, definitely. First of all, as I said, I got to know God. I really took my time to read the Bible and get to know everything about God. Then, yes, spiritually, that is it. And then academically, I knew that I would be good, but I didn't think I would be this good. And also basketball-wise, I came here as a freshman, international freshman. I didn't think I would get this much opportunity, and I'm so thankful for Coach Jebing giving me this opportunity.
Hey, it's been awesome watching you grow up so far. Keep up the great work.
Thank you so much, Paul.
All right, Mark, I know you had a chance to listen in on that, and also we're joined by Bethel University Athletic Director Tony Natale. I know, Tony, that the big emphasis for you and for your coaches is the spiritual development. Here's a kid who's come a world away, and good to hear those things.
No, absolutely. Those are the things that Coach Draben and the staff instill every day, so it's really great to get the confirmation by hearing an interview like that.
Mark, your thoughts on Phillip?
Well, I've gotten to know Phillip throughout the season, probably better than most of the other guys, just because he's so likable and so friendly. We had him over the house, and a lot of the guys downstairs eating. He's sitting upstairs talking to Robin and just sharing about his experience. And Paul, we see he's working, putting in more gym time than anybody else, I think, on his post moves, much like Sidney Williams on the women's side, yes. and it's paying off.
Yeah, he just works all the time. He is a gym rat. And it's great to see kids like that. They're so appreciative of the opportunities that they're given. That's an awesome thing to see.
All right, well, first of all, Bethel University announced its Hall of Fame. You are going into the Hall of Fame along with the other great Bethel coach, assistant coach Chris Hess. He was an assistant for so many times, and of course, golf coach. You've been here for 20-plus years. Just your thoughts on the Hall of Fame class as a whole. I tell you what, I've known you and Chris. I knew Mandy Stubb because I had a chance to do a lot of the Bethel women's games when she was playing. But your thoughts on the class overall?
It's a great class. I mean, the athletes that are going in, you have Kaylin Boyd and Irene Kangay that are both phenomenal track athletes. They both were NAI All-Americans, so they were the top of their game when they were here. And more importantly than that, they've just continually grown spiritually and become active in their churches relatively, and just been phenomenal people since they've left Bethel as well. Then Mandy Yoder, who's been a phenomenal women's basketball player and a class person as well, along with Coach Hess, who's done a phenomenal job here at Bethel. So I'm extremely humbled to be even included in a class like that.
So now when I make deliveries from its tops to Bethel University, do you and Coach Hess put HOF after your signature when you sign a package?
No, I think we won't do that. At least I won't do that. I don't know about
he will. He's going to order a stamp. I think you already had the stamp ordered from us. We do stamps, by the way.
Hey, I have to remember that.
All right, so put your basketball coach's hat back on. I know you haven't been to every one of the games, but I think this is the best defensive effort by this team this season.
Yeah, I've been to most of them, and this is what I would say would be the best defensive effort of the season. We're playing against a great offensive team as well, and it's great things that happen when you have a lot of energy and enthusiasm, and our guys are playing really, really hard tonight. They're playing positive, they're having fun, and they're guarding hard. They're guarding really hard, so it's been a really good first half for our guys.
You think it's going to be fun tonight? Wait till Saturday when Indiana Wesleyan comes over. All that LaPorte contingent will come over to see the two LaPorte guys battle it out. Be a lot of red, orange, and blue in the neighborhood.
For sure, should be a great atmosphere for a game. Two great teams going at it. We got to take care of this half first before we can think about that. But Coach Tonagel does a phenomenal job, and it'll be fun. That's for sure.
All right, Coach. Thanks and congratulations.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You're a Hall of Famer in my book. I didn't need anybody to tell me that, though.
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it.
Also, member of the NCCAA Hall of Fame. Let's go over to Coach Mark Gardner with our first half stats.
The visitors from Mount Vernon shooting 15 of 29 from the floor, 52%, 5 of 14 from three-point range, 36%, 2 of 3 for the foul line, 67%, 13 rebounds, 2 on the offensive end, 10 assists, 7 turnovers. Individually, Austin Jones, 7 points, 3 rebounds. Alex Johnson, 2 points, 2 rebounds. Jevin Knox, 6 of 8 from the floor, 12 points, 3 rebounds. Jacob Paul has not scored. He does have 2 assists, playing with 2 fouls. Isaac White, 2 of 5 from the floor, 5 points and a rebound. Eric McLaughlin, 3 of 4 from the field, all triples, 11 points, 1 rebound. And David Delahunty has a rebound. Foul trouble, though, for the visitors. It's Johnson, Paul, and McLaughlin all playing with 2 fouls each. Pilots, after the miserable 3 of 13 start, finished 18 of 36 on the floor, 6 of 16 from three-point range, 6 of 7 from the foul line. Out-rebounding the opponents 19 to 13. The Pilots have 6 offensive rebounds, 11 assists on those 18 buckets, only 3 turnovers. Nathan Ertz, 3 points, 2 rebounds. Maxwell Newman, 6 points, 1 rebound. KJ, 12 and 4, along with 2 helpers. Travion, 14 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Grant Galen, 10 points, 2 rebounds. Nick Pluta, 2 rebounds. Life Granville and Dylan Sheehy did not score, but their defensive effort and intensity did not go unnoticed by us. Gavin Rassler, 1 rebound. Jared DeHart, 3 points and a rebound, 3 assists. Pilots finished the half on a 23-7 run. They trailed 30-25 with 7:07 to play in the half, I believe, and finished the 23-7 run.
Score was tied 3 times. We had 3 late changes. Let's get some thoughts now here from Pat Dirksen. Pat, I know that when you're in this position as a sportscaster, you look at things differently than you do as a player, but you kind of analyze these things. But you had a chance to watch the ebb and flow and look at it on paper.
Right.
What are your observations of the game thus far?
So obviously Bethel got off to that slow start, and they have done a good job of looking to score early in transition, and then if they don't have anything, looking to get a good possession. So they had a couple good possessions where Newman got a touch on the block, Pluta got a touch on the block, and where they got good looks were from Galen and Cruz. Jenkins got to the rim. What they don't need is Newman and Ertz floating around the perimeter. Get them inside, look to get touches inside, have the defense react, and then make plays off that. But the message at halftime needs to be for Bethel, are we going to end this 6-game losing streak, or are we going to fold? So it's going to be interesting. These first 5 minutes of the second half are going to be decisive. And I anticipate Bethel will probably keep their foot on the gas and look to Cruz had it going. I think Mount Vernon is pretty lucky that halftime came when it did, because Cruz was just getting warmed up.
Yeah, this is your first look at him,
right?
And we've said it for a long time that he's one of the best players in America, just because he allows the game to come to him so special. And I'll tell you what, Jevin Knox, the redhead over there, is one of my favorite players that I've ever had a chance to watch in this league play. He is just calm, cool, and collected. Very Travion Cruz-like, Mark and Pat, because his ability to allow the game. I think the game is in slow-mo for those guys compared to some other guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. To me, I was thinking the same thing. They're both juniors. We get to watch them again for another year. I couldn't believe that in the pregame show when Coach pointed out that Knox was only a junior, and then you had a great comeback. I'm sure everybody says that about Cruz.
But, the reality of it is, think about this. Kyle Mangus, Travion Cruz, Jevin Knox, and there's this young kid by the name of Paul Marindette at Spring Arbor that's pretty dadgum good, too. So you got 4 kids just right off the top of your noggin there. I think the guy who's going to have a great second half for Mount Vernon is going to have to be Austin Jones. I think he needs to be able to be more productive on the offensive side of things. I don't know, Mark, what you thought about him. He ended up with 7 points and assists, but Mark, he only had 3 rebounds. And I think a guy like that, and I know coming into the game he's averaging 5.5, but he's going to need to play much bigger than I think he did in the first half, especially if the Pilots are going to be content to put the ball inside the paint.
I feel like he got away from the basket too much in the first half. He's playing 15 feet from the basket, which is why the rebound numbers are down. So that'll be a key for the opponent.
When we come back after the timeout, Mark's got all the halftime scores around the Crossroads League. Welcome to Bethel University for today's 26th meeting all time between the Cougars and the Pilots. We'll be back right after this.
When your child's in the
When I graduated with an undergrad degree, it took some time to find my first job. And when I started that job, it was an entry-level position, and I was stuck. If I wanted to make any advancement in the company, I'd have to keep my nose down and hope I made my way up the ladder over the years. This didn't sit well with me. I decided to enroll in Bethel University's Organizational Management program. The flexibility of the online program is what first attracted me. Next was the fact that the courses are taught by experienced professionals. This presented a great opportunity to learn about communications, finance, human resources, and strategies that keep an organization moving. It also allowed me to network with the leaders of the community I'm working in now. Because of my education at Bethel University, I'm excelling at my own pace.
Just as the leadership of one man helped form a nation, today leadership can transform the world. Pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at Values.com.
Welcome back here on Regional Radio Sports. Paul Condry along with Mark
Serving
Gardner.
Indiana residents since 1985, Centier Bank remains committed to supporting students, schools, and families. Centier Bank is a proud sponsor of the Regional Radio Sports Network Performer of the Week in recognition of outstanding athletes. Visit Centier.com today to view this week's featured athlete. Centier Bank, member FDIC.
Welcome back here on Regional Radio Sports. Paul Condry along with Pat Dirksen and Coach Mark Gardner. Time to County with all the details upstairs. Mark, as we get ready to move here into this next 20, tell us about what's happening in America's Premier Conference.
How about this at Marion? You have number 8 Marion leading number 21 St. Francis 45-35 at the half. At Taylor, Huntington 45, Taylor 40. At Spring Arbor 37, Goshen 18 at the half.
Ooh.
And how about this one? At Grace, number 2 Iwu Trails, number 18 Grace 45-44 at the half.
All right, just a sneak preview of games coming up on Saturday. Number 2 Indiana Wesleyan will be at Bethel. Marion will be at Grace. St. Francis at Huntington. Spring Arbor at Taylor. And Goshen will be on the road at the Ariel Arena at Mount Vernon. Mount Vernon decked out in the blue shorts and blue jerseys with the green numbers trimmed in white. The Pilots decked out in the gray shorts, gray jerseys. Let's see what kind of adjustments Jared Roney and his staff made. Here is Cruz with a fadeaway 14-footer. Gut! 50-37 Pilots.
He makes it look so easy. Picking up right where he left off. Travion now 7 of 11 to the floor. 16 points.
Pilots' largest lead of the night right now at 50-37. Here is, by the way, on the floor is Knox, Paul, White, Jones, and Johnson. Bethel will have on the floor Jenkins, Cruz, jump shot out the top, no good. Max Newman with the rebound. Here's Ertz up court quickly to Travion. Hits the trailer, Nathan Ertz. Now back out here to Jenkins. Jenkins inside of the low post now to Cruz. Cruz, baseline shot, rims no. Ertz tips it around and nearly kept it alive, but it went off of Nate, and it'll be Mount Vernon basketball.
It's a good look for Travion. He's kind of laughing over here. Everybody on the floor, knows when he gets the ball. Just go ahead and clear out, give him space, let him choose to do what he wants to do.
And now to push it up now will be Jacob Paul. Jacob Paul angles his dribble here on the near wing now. Looking for some help, finds Knox. Knox with a running one-hander, and he scores. That's just a big-time move right there by a big-time player.
Remember, he only had 2 shots in the first 10 minutes of the game. I look for him to get more volume this half. Pilots now 11-point lead. KJ for
Jenkins, bucket! 53-39, KJ with a 3-ball.
It's his 3rd triple of the night. He has 15 points.
Here's the ball to the top now. Austin Jones answers with the 3. 53-42. Cougars answer right back.
Jones with 10. That's his 2nd triple of the evening.
Here's Cruz on the dribble, flares out, hands it off to Ertz. Ertz now to KJ. KJ 3, good again. 56-42. Keontae Jenkins.
We've seen this before from KJ when he just gets in that zone. He now has 18.
Isaac White with a 3. Shot no good. Max Newman the rebound. Here is Cruz with a basketball. Hands it off to KJ. 3, Off the rim, no good. Rebound, Jevin Knox. And nearly stolen away.
Yep, off Knox.
And it went off Knox out of bounds.
And that's a great job by Travion recognizing that KJ's hot, so you dribble right at him, force the defender to make a decision. You going to stop Travion or are you going to stay on KJ? And you know Grant Galen's got to be licking his chops going, I want a piece of this three-point action. Give me some shots.
Here's to inbound the ball. Comes out here, Netta. Cruz, pull up 15-footer. Good! 58-42, Travion Cruz.
Number 2 and number 3 stuck in automatic. They both have 18.
The Fort Wayne connection is lighting it up with a basketball now. White dribbles through traffic, gives it up now here to Jones. Jones with a drive down the lane.
Good
Newman
hands.
stole it away. Now to Cruz. Cruz is going to outrace everybody. Down the floor for the score. 60-42 Pilots.
Coach Ronai is going to have his team play through it.
And here's a foul on the perimeter by Keontae Jenkins.
His first. That's okay. Take that risk right there.
And now to inbound, and we'll have substitutions. White's coming out of the ball game now, and Eric McLaughlin, the youngster from Lynchburg Clay High School in Ohio. And now Knox to inbound the ball. Pilots an 18-point lead. Pilots in 18 of their 20 games, they have double-digit leads.
We've seen this before.
Yeah, we've seen this
movie before. It doesn't always end the way we want.
Knox with the ball near wing, skip pass in the corner, now to Paul. Paul with the rainbow, air ball, rebound, Keontae Jenkins. Jenkins on the push out, hits Ertz in traffic. Ertz down the lane, shot rejected by George, tipped into the hands of Galen, and he scores! 62-42. Galen with the basket.
Galen now with 12. Go along with 3 rebounds.
Jones passes inside, stolen by the Pilots, Newman. Here's Jenkins from left to right now. Around the back dribble, hesitates, finds Galen for 3, off the rim, no good. Rebound into the hands of Knox.
It's exactly what you wanted. Great decision by KJ as he could have pulled the trigger, but he found Grant trailing.
Knox now in between the rings now, matched by KJ. Comes out here to the near elbow, on the wing now. On the look now, here's McLaughlin. Top of the circle to Knox. Knox looking for help. Goes right side now to Jacob Paul. Paul, foul on extended right, comes back to the point now to Johnson. Alex Johnson hands it off now. Shot clock winding down. Here's Jacob Paul going to the far wing now to Johnson. Shot block! Pilots on the breakout now. Cruz over the timeline now. Drives through traffic. Looks inside to Newman. Shot no good.
That was a goaltend.
And that'll be 2.
Yeah, he went up through the rim.
64-42. Jared Ronay waited for the media timeout, but the question now remains, did he wait too late? 15:53 to go in regulation, a ton of time. We'll be back with more of Bethel University Sports. Pilots 64, Cougars 42 on the Regional Radio Sports Network. Paul Condry along with Coach Mark Gardner. And also Pat Dirks and Tanya Conti with all the details. The Pilots have come out of the gates like a buzzsaw, Mark.
16-5 run here in the first 4 minutes of the second half, and they've scored in all fashions. 3-pointers, fast break layups, screen roll, fadeaway jumpers. You name it, they've done it.
Pat, they got a lot of weapons out there, don't they?
Yeah, and I've been really impressed on the defensive end. Obviously, it helps when you're making shot after shot after shot, but this second half, they've come out with some real good ball pressure and stopping the ball, then getting the ball and getting out and running and getting good shots in transition.
And that can go one of 2 ways. Good defense, which Holy Cross is used to leading to offense, but sometimes teams are like, well, the offense is going so well, we can relax down here because we have a big lead. That's not been the case tonight.
Here's Knox with the basketball near wing, back to the top. Milton Gage in the game now.
And Pilots switch to zone defense, and I like that.
Knocks into the pass inside with a nice little shot by Eric McLaughlin, and he scores, making it 64-44, 15:32 to go.
And I feel like Coach Draven's been doing more of that lately, switching back and forth between man, and I think, again, that keeps your guys zoned in, focused on what's going on, because you're switching up defenses.
Ayers with a basketball on the
Lot
look.
of body.
Looking. Gives now to Newman here on the right wing. Newman looks. Newman on the drive to the goal. And he was hammered. No call. Knox with the basketball on the redirect. Had it knocked away by Galen, but right into the hands of a wide open Eric McLaughlin, and he scores the basket, making it 64-46.
And I don't know how Max doesn't get called for that. And he's telling the official, hey, he shoved me in the back. Doing a good job of communicating with the official. But he said, I got a shove in the back when I was going to the rim.
Here's Galen going to the left side wing now to Ayers. Ayers waits for a cutter. Now goes to Cruz. Cruz down the lane. Scores! 66-46. And a timeout on the floor.
He absolutely grabbed his right arm. And that's what Travion's saying to the official. He grabbed his arm on the way up.
And a timeout on the floor. We're going to keep it right here. And thank our friend Eric Gunther and State Farm Insurance. On the court, All-Stars make assists look easy. Behind the back, no look, or off the backboard, they're dropping triples nonstop. That's how we feel about coverage and savings. Combine your home and auto with State Farm and start your own assist highlight reel. After all, even All-Stars need an assist. Call State Farm agent Eric Gunther for help combining your home and auto and enjoy the savings. Dial them up at 574-291-1597 or on the World Wide Web at www.statefarm.com.
Proud of the Pilots, the way they've handled this adversity. Last two possessions, I think there was questionable contact. Max talked to the official the next time down. He didn't throw his hands in the air, scream and yell at anybody. And that time there, too, Travion just stopped and talked to the official. Coach Draven called the timeout so he could talk to the official. So I think they handled it well.
Here's Gage with the basketball going inside to the low post. Now on the come around, here's Knox back out to the top. Now here to Gage. The high post now to Jones. Jones is going to back in, leans and scores. 66-48. 14:21 to go.
It's a tough move because he can finish going left. He's a left-handed player, but he spun back, used the right hand there.
Jenkins now to Newman. Newman down the lane for the field goal, making it 68-48.
Good job by KJ, not forcing the issue, hitting Maxwell for the trail.
Over on the far wing now. McLaughlin, three-point shot, no good. Keontae Jenkins the rebound. Jenkins over the timeline now, just drives down the floor, had the shot blocked.
Yeah, KJ's
back the other way now. Gage gives it out to the top now to Jones. Jones now to Knox, and he traveled with the basketball.
Yeah, and KJ was yelling at the official. That's what he can't do. You got to talk to him. Don't yell at him, just talk to him.
Multiple substitutions for the Pilots now. Pluta, DeHart, Gavin Rassler are on the floor now.
KJ's in the corner still, so still KJ and Cruz.
And Galen gets a break. And now to bring it over the timeline, the All-American. Over here on the right side, he's going to come around a Pluta screen. Skips it out here to Jenkins. Jenkins and a hand check foul whistled on the perimeter on sophomore Eric McLaughlin.
It's going to be his third, and that's the one that frustrates officials or players, that you get, contact down there before a layup and it doesn't get called, then you get the hand check, which will take the foul, but it wasn't nearly as much contact you had going to the lane.
There's a pass inside now to Cruz. Cruz with a jump shot inside the lane. Scores!
Too little.
70-48. Travion Cruz with another special day. 24 points.
Yeah, that's a mismatch and Gage just throws it away on the other end. That's an absolute mismatch for Gage on Cruz down in the low post, even though they're the same size. Quick change.
Paul comes back into the ball game now for the freshman Milton Gage.
Cruz has 22, and I'll bet 10 of them have come when Gage has been in the game guarding him, and he hasn't played a lot of minutes. I'd do the same thing. I'd post him up on same thing here.
DeHart going inside now here to Cruz.
Clear out.
Cruz looking for some help. We'll load up the 14-footer, and he'll knock it down. 72-48. Travion at the 13:04 mark.
If you're Mount Vernon, you got to put McLaughlin or you got to come doubling, but he's going to tear you up if you just match up with him on the guard.
Knox back over here on the near side. Now here to Delahunty. Back on the far side, Knox. Three, no good. Rebound. Tipped into the hands of Gavin Rassler on the redirect from Eric McLaughlin. Here's DeHart over here on the right wing. Now goes in the corner, now to Rassler.
Same play. Post up.
Now here's DeHart looking for help. Looking. Skips it over here to Pluta at the top. Nick, and a whistle.
They got to call the hold on Jones.
On Paul.
Paul. Jacob Paul holding Travion, posting up.
Second foul in the half on the Cougars.
And 3 for the game for now for Paul and McLaughlin.
Knox will get a break here at the 12:34 mark.
So the Pilots right now, they'll lob it to the free throw line. It'll be Cruz against Paul, and he'll go up and over him.
Here's Cruz. Goes back here on the right side. Shot on the way, no good. Rebound on the Rassler look.
I'd rather he went up and over him personally.
Now back to the top. Now Delahunty goes near side to here to Johnson. Johnson gives way here to White. And quickly to the far side wing. Now here to Delahunty. Here's a pass. That's a travel. And here's a two-hand dunk attempt and a miss by Alex Johnson.
Not a bad foul. Send him to the line. You're fortunate it's not an and one opportunity.
Alex Johnson, who prepped at Little Miami High School in Cincinnati, Ohio, a 6'5", 225-pound junior, averages 9 points, 8 rebounds, a 66% free throw shooter. And at the 12-13 mark, he'll go to the line, and he knocks it down to make it 72-49 Pilots.
And Paul, I'm a big fan of Rassler. He's got 33 triples on the season. He's a 33% foul, three-point shooter, but the way Travion's playing tonight, I'd rather he go ahead and shoot the fadeaway there than kick it out to the corner for 3.
Second free throw good again. Makes it 72-50. And Steve Draven right in front of us. You can hear him yelling, stack, stack. Here's Cruz. Now here with the basketball.
Remember, Paul has 3 fouls.
Comes around a high side screen and a foul whistled on David Delahunty, the Columbia Station High School, Ohio product.
His first team's 3rd.
Mark, Travion Cruz isn't even breathing hard.
Well, that's because he got 5 minutes off in the first half. Remember?
I know. Pat's not seen him a lot. He just seems to have endless lungs. He almost has the lungs of a long-distance runner.
Pat asked me before the game, is he as good as – yeah, he is, and now Pat's got a chance to see it. I don't think he'll disagree.
Rassler and a whistle.
Pluta trying to post up. He had the mismatch down there on White, but he's got to be outside the lane posting up, not in the lane posting up.
11:52 to go in regulation. The Jevin Knox Lake Cougars have an opportunity to go with back-to-back scores here.
And Pat hit it at halftime. I'm more impressed with the defensive effort than the offensive effort from the Pilots tonight.
Yeah, Live Gramble's in there now matched up against Knox. Comes around a screen. Goes to the top now here to McLaughlin. McLaughlin goes now to Knox. Knox, jump pass out here to a wide open Johnson. Johnson throws it into the left corner now. McLaughlin back here near side. Shot clock winding down. 3-point shot, no good. A rebound, Life Granville. But it was a good box out inside by Pluta and Rassler, which gave Life an opportunity to scab it.
Yeah, that's what frustrates Rassler. He blocks out and Life gets the rebound.
Here's a play inside. Pluta is hammered.
And that was a frustration foul as McLaughlin just swung at him because Nick backed him out of the way. It's going to be 4 fouls on McLaughlin now.
Pluta, a 50% free throw shooter.
Not a bad foul at all, but you're sending their leading scorer for the night. Good job by the official stepping in because Nick had something to say to McLaughlin. Nick's already wearing short shorts. I'm not sure why he's rolling those babies.
And at the 11:10 mark, Pluta will go to the line here. Free throw on the way, well off the rim, no good.
And that's a good foul if you're Mount Vernon from the standpoint. Bad foul because it's his 4th foul, but you don't want to give Nick anything easy down low. Make him earn them.
Nick with one more opportunity. Nick, a 15.2 rebound performance on Saturday against the Goshen Maple Leafs. His second free throw was good, so one of the 2. It makes it 73-50 in favor of the home team.
And he's still coming back from that injury, so his minutes, conditioning's not what he wants it to be. He was calling for a sub earlier, so just get him some quick minutes each time out.
Max Newman checks in now for Pluta. Here's the ball on the near side. Wing now to White. White goes to the far side to Paul. Back to the top now, Johnson. Back over here on the near side wing, White. Launches the 3 and knocks it down. 73-53. 10:52 to go here in the second half.
And I like that Mount Vernon's using Knox as the screener. The Pilots are so worried about where Knox is. He was able to screen for a teammate to knock down the triple, and then you see full court press.
Cougars going to go bring some heat here now in the pressure. Live Granville goes now to Cruz. Cruz with a 2-on-1 to Max Newman. Newman was fouled, no call, but Newman scores anyways on the offensive rebound tip, making it 75-53.
Pilots were obviously ready for that full court press as they ran a set play there to get the leak out.
Here's Knox with the basketball, stolen by Cruz.
Good defense by Life Granville.
Cruz with the ball here on the near side wing. Comes around a screen. Cruz remains on the dribble. Goes down here to Rassler.
Get in there.
Rassler 3, rattles in and out, no good. Rebound tip from Newman into Life, and Life scores! 77-53, Life Granville on the deflection from Newman.
Great ball handling and kick out by Travion. Good look by Rassler. Newman keeps it alive, and Granville finishes. 4 people getting a good touch on that possession.
Mount Vernon takes a timeout. Pilots lead 77-53. We'll take a timeout as well. This will be a 60-second timeout. Our coverage being presented in part by the Gates Automotive Group, as well as some other wonderful folks here on the Regional Radio Sports Network, including my favorite folks in all the world.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense
with the details up top. Coach, you got some thoughts there?
Yeah, Grace leading Iowa 9:30 to play. 65-63. Dayton with 22. Warner with 19. Jennings with 13. Mangus, of course, leading the way for Iowa with 25. The other top 20 matchup. Marion leads St. Francis by 9 with 11.5 to go. Harvey and Walter with 17 apiece to lead the way for Marion. Paul, I love what's going on with the Pilots. You bring Sheehy in, only played 2 or 3 minutes, but he's all over Jevin Knoxdale's 2 or 3 minutes. You bring Life Granville in, he's just busting his tail. He knows he's probably getting 3 to 5 minutes maybe this half. He's going to make him the best 3 to 5 minutes he can. I like that look from Rassler. He's got to keep shooting that shot.
With the basketball over here now, Jacob Paul. Paul now in between the circles. We're now at the halfway point of the second half. Here is Paul looking for some help over here on the near side. White inside now to Jones. Jones with a left-handed hook. That's just a great shot. Sometimes you got to give props to where it's due, and Jones made a beautiful shot with the hook.
Yeah, we've seen him finish left, finish right, finish from the outside. He's got 2 triples tonight, so he's now got 14 points.
Newman hands it back to Dehart. Dehart with a wide open 3, no good. Rebound ricochets into the hands of Alex Johnson.
So this is about that time of the game, Paul, where we've seen the Pilots blow 18 to 20-point leads against other opponents this year.
Here's the ball in the hands of Jones. Shot on the way from 3, no good. Rebound. Cruz tracks it down in the corner. And then there's a foul whistle on Alex Johnson from behind. Mark, I just wanted to kind of bring that to your attention. If you look at the way the second half has kind of played itself out, the Cougars have only scored back-to-back field goals on back-to-back occasions. Once, twice, 3 times.
3 times in 10.5 minutes.
No, they've been able to weather the storms thus far. Here's Jared Dehart. Goes now here to Granville here on the near wing. Life looking for some help. Comes around a screen. Goes now here to Newman, right wing. Asks for Rassler to come and get the ball. Now back to Dehart. Dehart looks at the free throw line. Will launch the 18-footer. Shot no good. Rebound ripped out of there by Johnson. Now on the push out. Here's White over the timeline now. Now into the right corner now here to Jacob Paul. Jacob Paul looking for some help. Comes back to Knox at the point. Over on the near side wing now here's White. White around the screen. Nice screen and roll. There's a drive, a shot, and a foul on Rassler. But a strong move by Alex Johnson going baseline.
Yeah, and how about this, Paul? Jacob Paul comes in averaging 10.5 points a game. I know he played big against the Pilots here last year. He has not scored tonight. 0 of 6 from the floor, all from three-point range. Just a guy that comes in with 26 triples in the season, shooting 40% from three-point range.
Johnson rattles home the free throw, making it 77-56. This is a 3-0 run by the Cougars. And an opportunity now here. Life Granville coming out in here. Pluta, Ertz coming in for Newman, Granville, and Rassler. Like Gavin Rassler's gassed.
Yeah.
He's giving it all out there. That's complete buy-in to me, Coach.
Any other conference in America, I think you're going, oh, we're up 22 with or 20 with 8.5 to go. We're feeling good. Not here.
Not for sure. After what's happened in this series, the Cougars have won 6 straight against the Pilots in this series. Jared Roney with 7 wins and 6 losses. Here's Cruz down the lane for the score, making it 79-57.
KJ's been sitting for a while. He's got 18. He's getting a long rest over here.
Here's the ball in the hands of Knox. Knox matched up. A low post pass now to Johnson. Johnson on Ertz. Leans in. Shot off the rim, no good. Rebound. Nick Pluta gives way now here to Cruz.
Travion, 12 of 17 from the floor.
Here's a wide open Grant Galen for three. In and out, no good. And Galen just got knocked to the floor.
Yeah, it could have
on
been
the
McLaughlin's
release.
5th foul.
Over here on the far wing now, Knox comes around an elbow screen, and he drives down the lane, and a blocking foul called on Nick Pluta on Jevin Knox. And that'll be 2 fouls for Knox. Knox, who has been out of his mind at the line, Mark, shooting an eye-popping 93% at the line.
This kid is so impressive. I talked to him pregame and told him that I will root for him every night of the week when he's not playing Bethel.
55 of 59 on the year. That free throw is picture perfect. That makes it 79-58. 7:46 to go.
Over his 3-year career, he's a 90% foul shooter. 205 for 229 in his career.
I mean, you look at his career numbers, they're off the charts and everything. Averaging 4.5 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. Only 2 turnovers a game as much as he handles the ball on a career. Here's a pass inside to Pluta. Pluta on Jones. Leans in, missed the shot, rebound. Wrapped out of there by Eric McLaughlin. This is an important defensive play here by the Pilots now. This is where that crack in the armor starts to happen. With a basketball at the top now, Paul. Now goes to Knox, lobs it inside now to Jones. Jones leans in and scores. Steve, going to take that timeout here now. 79-61, 7:04 to go. They're going to make him play through it. Here's Dehart. Over on the far side, 45-foot near the volleyball line. Gonna angle. Comes out here high now, Jones. Jones gives it off to Galen. Galen 3. Net up at the bottom of the net. 82-61. Greg Galen says, not so fast, my friend.
Well, and I heard Alex Daniel say after you mentioned it, Coach, we've got timeouts to use, and so Coach went ahead and used one after knocking down that triple. Something Mike Lightfoot used to do all the time. He used those timeouts after he scored, not when the opponent scored. You don't want to show weakness, so you do it when you score.
Our coverage of Bethel University basketball being presented in part by First Source Bank. Excited about hiring Bethel students and alumni. Check out your partners from the First at www.firstsource.com. First Source Bank, proud supporter of Bethel University Athletics. Don't forget, tomorrow, Mark and I will be here, but we have 2 more great matchups. 2 games in the Chicagoland Collegiate Athletic Conference tomorrow. Pat Dirkson's alma mater, Holy Cross, will be, they have a double dip over there. And Pat, how do you feel about your team being ranked in number 25 in the country, your alma mater?
That is certainly exciting. Pretty proud of those guys over there. They had a great win the other night against Olivet, and then came back in a hard-fought road win against Judson on Saturday. So obviously you're at the point in the season where no game can be, no game's off. Every game is important from here on out. So hopefully they can keep building, not let that, first ranking ever go to their head. So I'm sure, knowing Coach McBride, that will not happen.
I agree. Also, Scott Cooper's squad will be at home tomorrow. Another doubleheader over there. So we'll have all 3 of our schools will be in action tomorrow. Bethel women against Mount Vernon tomorrow. And then we have IU South Bend and Holy Cross doubleheader tomorrow. All right, the Jevin Knox-led Mount Vernon Cougars will move from right to left. Pilots lead 82-61 with 6:43 to go in regulation.
4 pilots in double figures. Cruz with 28, Jenkins 18, Galen 15, and Newman 12.
Here's Paul coming back out here to Knox. Knox goes to Paul in the corner. Wide open 3, no good. A rebound. And a foul called on Paul as he missed the 3 and then compounded this situation by coming up with a foul.
He's 0 of 7 from three-point range. That's his 4th foul. Paul, I'm looking down to the right down there, and I think there's a group of guys like pickup game saying, we got next. I see Rico Swanson, Jordan Bowerman's around the corner there. I heard Luke Fisher's in the house. Maybe there's an alumni game after this one.
Well, I talked with Rico Swanson. Here, we'll kick it back here when we get time. Remind me to come back to this. And here's a foul inside. This gives me a
Pluta traveled for you.
With the travel. Rico Swanson came in today to congratulate Chris Hess and Tony Natale on being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Of course, Rico, the all-time greatest pilot. You can make the argument between him and Eric Brandt. Part of those two red banners are because of Rico, but he wanted to make a point that Chris Hess and Tony Natale were both big influences, and that'll be a turnover on the Cougars.
15 turnovers for the Cougars. Yeah, the influence they had on his life.
Rico said if it wasn't for Chris Hess, he may never have got through school. He made sure he got to class, made sure he got his work done, and then he says, and then when Rico went into coaching, so Tony Natale was the biggest influence that he'd ever had in his life. So meant a lot to Rico. Rico was here. They were in tears when I got here. They were really emotional about the whole situation.
And every program has guys like that are behind the scenes while the head coach is getting all the credit, making sure all the little things get done.
Keontae Jenkins inside,
and
shoots, and scores, and a foul is called with 5-2 on the second half clock. Pilots improve their advantage to 84-61.
Just a week ago, Paul, that we showed up thinking we were going to have an exciting top 10 matchup, and Marion handed it to us. So I came in tonight with the same, man, I really feel like this should be a good game, but this could end up being like the Marion game, and it is.
85-61.
But fortunately, shoes on the other foot.
Exactly. You look at that Marion game, the Pilots got beat 99-74 as they were embarrassed here on their home floor. Here's Knox. Jump pass out here to Jones. The southpaw loads up the triple. No good. And then Travion Cruz, the pride of the fort, brings it over the timeline now into the forecourt. Comes around a screen, and a foul called on the perimeter. Travion Cruz is just playing him with.
Yeah, he's going to go to the line now for 2 free ones. Travion with 28 tonight, heading to the foul line where he's an 88% foul shooter. How about this stat line? 13 of 18 from the floor, 2 of 5 from three-point range, 6 rebounds, 4 helpers, 28 points.
Pat, take a look at this media release that Andrew Bowen put together and see how many times that Cruz has been at 30 this year. As I think he's going to get there after this free throw. The right-hander scores, and he does. It makes it 88-61 with 5:31 to go. And now over the timeline now. Here's Knox at the top of the ring now. He explodes down the right side of the lane and missed the shot. Rebound. Cruz up court quickly to KJ. KJ stops, pops. Shot no good. Rebound, Jones.
And coach isn't happy. He was saying, pull it out, pull it out, pull it out. There's still 5 minutes to play.
Ball in the hands of Jones. Stolen by Keontae Jenkins.
Look out behind you, KJ.
Jenkins on the drive to
one.
Score. And he was fouled. He waited for the defender to foul him, and then he laid it up and in.
What an acrobatic finish after that, too. It's KJ shaking his head.
The pride from the fort tonight.
Oh, yeah, they've combined for 53 so far. They've almost outscored Mount Vernon by themselves.
Jenkins to go at the line. Jenkins, a 80% free throw shooter. The transfer from Cardinal Stritz scores, and that makes it 90.
I don't think anybody should up thinking the Pilots would be up by 30 with 5 minutes to go.
Checking in with the Regional Radio Sports Stats Department, Cruz has gone 30 or more 4 times, but has games of 27, 29, and 26 all along with those 4.
With the basketball high here. Thanks, Pat. Here, backing in now. Here's Alex Johnson. Skips it into the corner to Gage. It'll tap. Now back out to Knox. Knox drives. They traveled. No call. Back out here to the far wing now. Here to Delahunty. His shot no good. Max Newman the rebound. Now here's Travion Cruz pushing it up the left sideline. Shake and bake here at the top now. Travion on the dribble. Inside for the score. 92-61. And Mark, I think you go back to that point where Milton Gage hit him.
Yeah.
And what you did is you woke up the sleeping bear.
Yep, and we get called timeout. Somebody needs to go out there and pick up that laundry that Mr. Johnson left on the floor when Travion went left and left him behind.
This is very similar to that game, not necessarily from a three-point shooting barrage that what we saw at IU South Bend, where all the things that they're skilled at they were able to do with great success.
Yeah, and there's so many little things, but 5 turnovers tonight for the Pilots. They've out-rebounded their opponents 34-24. They have 9 offensive rebounds, 46 points in the paint, 11-2 second chance points. How about this one? 26-0 points off turnovers. 26-0. Wow. There's so much stuff going on here that, and yes, Coach, we're talking about all these offensive numbers. I guarantee he'll point out most important thing.
Best defensive effort of the year.
Jevin Knox has 4 second-half points.
You look at the Pilots from a numbers standpoint. Gave up 66 to Siena Heights. Gave up 61 to Huntington. But once again, we're not talking about Huntington and Siena Heights. We're talking about a team that averages 82 a game.
Yeah.
Who's one of the best shooting teams in the country. Look at this. You look at Mount Vernon's number 2 in the country in three-point field goal percentage. Number 8 in field goal percentage. So yeah, it's not like you're playing the Little Sisters of the Poor here.
27% from three-point range tonight. It's not because they're having a bad shooting. It's because the Pilots are all over them. 16 turnovers for a team that comes in averaging 11.
And here's Knox to inbound on the sideline into the backcourt. Here is Milton Gage. Gage matched up against DeHart. Over here to the top now. Now Johnson. It goes to the right side now to McLaughlin. Goes inside to the low post. Nice job defensively by Ertz to take away the baseline drive. Pass inside, knocked away by DeHart. Here's a drive down the lane, shot, and a foul called.
Jared was so close. Great post defense. He's mismatched down there by a big. Slips around from the backside and almost got it to go the other way.
And that will send to the charity stripe Alex Johnson. Johnson, I believe, 2 for 2 with the line tonight. And now checking in for Mount Vernon will be Eddie Driscoll. Another sophomore. He missed the free throw.
4 of 5 now for Johnson. Jevin Knox heading out, probably calling it a night for him. And
now
I feel bad for whoever plays them on Saturday. Where are they at Saturday? Goshen?
Yes. 2 free throws missed.
Jevin will go for 35.
Here's DeHart now into the half-court set now. Hands it off now to Nate Ertz. Ertz at the top. Ball reverses to the far wing now to DeHart. DeHart looking for some help. Waits for Galon. He pops out high here in between the rings. Now to Granville. Pass inside to the low post. Knocked away. Nice defensive rotation by David Delahunty to knock it away. 8 seconds on the shot clock. 3:33 on the second half game clock. As DeHart will inbound the ball to the right of the lane from where we visit. As Nate Ertz tucks his shirt in. And now back out here to the top, Galon.
He's shooting.
Galon, 3. It comes out long now here.
And that's a bad shot for about every. Oh.
Galon was getting ready to do another poster.
McLaughlin said, not tonight.
Here's a drive, kick out into the corner. Now Delahunty on the drive, inside, scores. That makes it 92-63, 3:08 to go.
And that 28-footer is a bad shot for about everybody in America, but not for Grant. Just a catch and shoot.
Yep, here is DeHart flaring out, comes back here right side, now to Grant. Grant had it stripped away, and it ricochets to Granville in the corner. Pass inside now, Max Newman. Newman on the double down, fouled in the paint by Eddie Driscoll. And that'll send Double G to the line.
Max
to the line.
And that's good for Max to get to the line there. He's not had a free throw opportunity tonight. No pressure during these, but good opportunity.
Max Newman, a 59% free throw shooter. Averages 10 points, 5 rebounds. An assist, a turnover, and a block shot in every game. That makes it 93-63 with 2:48 to go. Checking into the game now will be Ryan Wolf, only a 6th game of the year. Came from Tays Valley High School in Asheville, Ohio. 1 of 2, and the free throw no good. Second timeout. Pilots a 93-63 leader. As Nick Bailey's going to check into the game here momentarily. Ball in the corner now, Delahunty into the corner now to Gage. Gage double team. Comes back out here to the top to Driscoll. Driscoll in the lane. Shot no good, tipped up. And Max Newman finally comes away with it. And Max going to lead a breakout to Galon. Grant with a Score! 95-63, Grant Galen.
17 for Grant. That one almost came out when he slapped the board on that one.
Back out to the top now. David Delahunty goes to the far side now to Wolf. Wolf back out to the top of the ring now to Gage. Gage, and a foul whistled on the reach-in by the Pilots. As Steve Draven's going to empty his bench.
So a couple things here, Paul. One, Mom and Dad are sitting across the way. They leave for Florida for the next 3 months tomorrow. So this is their last in-person game, but I know they'll be tuning in to listen to us and watch us and cheer on the Pilots as they love this team. So wish them safe travels.
Amen to that.
And two, can we just make it official and call him Big Nick Bailey?
Big Nick Bailey's in
because he's a big guy. Big John Stud, Big Nick Bailey. Let's go with it.
Okay, with the ball here now, David Delahunty goes over here to the right now to Gage. Gage looking for help. Gage with a drive down the lane. Big Nick Bailey's there. And coming down awkwardly.
That's the last thing you want.
Milton Gage.
That's unfortunate. He's looking to the bench, and the last thing you want is to get hurt.
The legendary Ashley Orts hops up off the bench to go to the rescue. Yeah, I hate to see this kind of thing happen.
Yeah, especially late in the game.
But I got to go back, Mark. There was a point in the game where Gage hit Travion upside the head, and there was a point in time where you just woke up the sleeping bear. And Travion got that chip on his shoulder, and when he plays with that chip on his shoulder, that's when he is at his maximum best.
Yeah, we saw this in women's game a couple years ago when the young lady from Marion blew out her knee in a 30-point game late in the game, and you hope it's just a rolled ankle and he'll be okay, but they're carrying him off. That's not good.
Rye Adams is going to check into the game now for Gage.
The head coach carrying him off the floor, too, and that says a lot about your coach. I'll tell you, this team, when the game ends, nobody will see it because everybody will be grabbing their coats and leaving. This team will turn around. They'll pick up every cup and clean up every piece of gum wrapper and anything on their bench. I've seen Coach do this ever since he's been here.
And the locker room is pristine.
Yep. And I guarantee when they go to restaurants, the places they eat at appreciate it, because my guess is every chair in that place gets pushed in. It just says a lot about you as a person when your program does that. And I've been impressed with Coach ever since we met him and saw him sit next to us, because we used to sit next to their bench. And when everybody else is celebrating after games, his team's cleaning up after themselves.
Interesting, I spent some time with Jared before the game, as you well know, doing our pregame, but he had a chance to meet Steve Draven at a marriage retreat earlier in the year. And they had a chance to get together, and it was at that point in time when Steve found out that he'd gotten a job, so had a chance to do that. I believe that was one of those Nation of Coaches things that former Bethel Hall of Famer Mike Lightfoot was actively involved in. There's a shot, no good. Ball ricochets out, and Eddie Driscoll tracks it down. And then there's a ball thrown away off of Driscoll's back on the pass from Eric McLaughlin.
And I don't know if part of that was because Isaac White was standing up on the bench kind of encouraging his team, and it looked like he was actually playing, so I don't know if McLaughlin thought he was throwing it to White.
Back out here, Mickey Stoyanov comes out to Dylan Sheehy. Sheehy for three, good! 98-63.
And shocker, Dylan's talking on his way down the floor. That young man, he'll talk to anybody who's willing to listen. If nobody will listen, he'll talk to himself.
Rye Adams goes over to the far side now to Driscoll. Driscoll backs it out. Back over here on the near side to Adams. Over here on the dribble is Ryan Wolf. Pass inside, the big fella. Ben Pollock missed an opportunity, and here's Stoyanov. Mickey over the timeline now. Throws it, and that goes off a Cougar. And with 1:07 to go, the Pilots hoping to make it their 9th time over 100. The Pilots, who come into the ballgame #1 scoring team in America at 96.7. As Stoyanov will trigger the inbounds. If I'm Stoyanov, I throw one right off the back of Ben Pollock and then catch the ball. But that's just me. Here's the ball into the hands of Gabe Johnson. Now here to Dylan Sheehy. Sheehy on the drive. Big Nick Bailey trying to set up shop. There he is. And a foul called on Nick Bailey.
I think he said 3 seconds, but I don't think he was in the lane. I mean, at this point, you're not going to argue, but generally speaking, you have to be in the lane to be called for 3 seconds in the lane. That is the definition of the rule, right?
Rye Adams with the ball here. Stoyanov is called for a reach-in.
So I got a post player sitting next to me. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think that's the way the rule is written. Certainly is.
Yeah, I mean, and it's they don't call that anymore unless you're just camping in there with both feet. In that case, yeah, Bailey's out there. He's got a foot on the block. Mickey trying to get the steal on the breakaway to go over 100, sends the opponent to the line.
And to the line now, Adams. The free throw good. Adams on the season. That's his first free throw. That makes it 98-64. We'll visit with Travion and Keontae Jenkins in the postgame show, the pride of the fort. Here is the ball in the hands of Dylan Sheehy. Double teamed out here. Goes now to Stoyanov. Stoyanov, pull up 14-footer. Nope. Good. Rebound ripped out of there by Eric McLaughlin. Stolen by Bailey.
Get in there.
Scores! And he was fouled. 100-65.
And I don't want to, rain on the parade, but
Steve just looked down to Jared Roney and apologized for the field goal.
Yeah, it's one of those, and it's hard. You don't want to run the score up, but these guys practice every day and don't get opportunities. And Nick took 7 steps before he scored, I think, and the official didn't call the travel. But, it's hard for these guys to come in. You work your tail off all week, and then you come in and you're supposed to just dribble out the clock and take a shot clock violation for 3 or 4 possessions. I mean, they work their tails off, and they need to play.
And with a basketball down to try to get the old-fashioned three-point play, Bailey, who's 4 for 9 on the year.
Yeah, 40% foul shot now because he's 4 for 10.
165 for the 9th time on the season. The Pilots have eclipsed the century mark. And with a basketball at the top now, here is Delahunty. Stolen by Stoyanov. Mick Beck the other way with the drive. Missed the shot. No, he's asking for a foul. Delahunty.
And these guys are pressing. And Coach wanted Mickey just to dribble it out, but again, the whole team's been in the passing lane.
And a foul called on.
Now that's silly.
Stoyanov.
Yeah. But they've played great defense all night, and so everything's been about respond, react, score, getting passing lanes, and these guys have been watching that. It's a teachable moment here. And Mickey said, Coach says, "What are you doing?" And he said he slapped me on the layup. So he was going back to get even. Not when you're up by 30, young man. You'll learn that.
Second free throw, no good, so it's 100-66. Life Granville will bounce the ball. And the 6-game winning streak for the Mount Vernon Nazarene Cougars has come to an abrupt conclusion here on Mike Lightfoot Court. Final score, the 11th ranked Pilots defeat the number 6 Cougars. Steve Draven has his first win against a top 10 team in his career. Final 100-66. Pilots improved to 18-3, 6-3 in the Crossroads League, 8-2 here at home. Mount Vernon falls to 17-4. 5-4 in the Crossroads League, and they are now 8-3 away from the friendly confines of the Ariel Arena. Mount Vernon and the Pilots. Game comes to a conclusion. Let's get a thought here from the head coach of the Bethel University Pilots. His first win against a top 10 team. Congratulations, Steve. Big win for your club tonight.
Really pleased, really excited with our just our consistent effort, positive, consistent effort that we talk about a lot. I thought our guys were locked in. I felt confident they were ready to play. You never know sometimes as a coach, but they came out and performed well. They were locked in, and they executed what we asked them to do on both ends of the floor, and I'm proud of them.
Best defensive effort against a great team without question. And I'll make my point here. There was a time when you went off on that 23-7 run at the end of the first half, only 4 times did the Cougars go back-to-back field goals uncontested. So you've had some problems holding leads.
Yeah, for sure.
4 times over the course of about 27 minutes. That really ended any doubt that they were not coming back today.
Yeah, one thing we were working on is just, our offensive goal is just to get the best shot we can. And I thought our shot selection was really good during that time. And we got the ball in one of our players' hands, and he did a good job of putting it in the basket. And so, we're trying to put our guys in the best position to be successful. When you got a guy with a hot hand like Cruz, we're gonna go with it.
I like that particular call on the first play of the game.
That was nice. I had a little help from a friend of mine. who gave me a suggestion on that, and I thought that was a good idea. And so Grant Galen.
All right, Mark. I know you've got a lot of thoughts on this one.
You know, we talked great offensive performances, but Pat mentioned at halftime that defense was locked in. It's easy when you're up 20 to start going, well, things are going easy, everything's falling, let's take the foot off the gas. And I know you're frustrated a little bit with the guys in the last 30 seconds getting steals, but they've seen that energy all game. Yeah. And that's hard, and they've practiced all week with that, so part of you's got to be proud. But, you don't want to run the score up on anybody. No.
But we talked about it before. That's what frustrates me a little bit. And, you just don't want to give other teams. We're going to play them again and at their place, and you don't want to give them any kind of ammunition like that. And I apologize to their coaches, and I don't think they, took anything negative by it, but just trying to be classy, just like they are. That could happen to us very easily. And they're a great team that could play really well, and it might not be our night, so it could hapen.
You said first-time coaching against them. You didn't notice when you were doing so. We've seen this before. They go down there. They straighten every chair back up. They pick up every cup. They pick up every piece of trash before they leave here. It's the only team that comes into Bethel that I'm aware of that I've seen do that on a regular basis. It says a lot about him and his program.
Absolutely. Have a lot of respect for Coach Renee. He runs a great program. And the culture piece, discipleship piece, I'm trying to pick his brain as much as I can and have a lot of respect for him and how they do things. And they're a really good team. And, I'm proud of our guys for beating a kind of a program like that.
Saturday, a lot of blue, a lot of red, and a lot of orange on Saturday.
Sure, yeah.
Your thoughts, just a sneak preview.
I'm excited about it. They're playing as well as anybody in the country right now. They've beaten, I think, the last 3 games they've won by 25 plus. Kyle Mangus is playing otherworldly, and I'm excited for the matchup. We played mostly well at their place. Had a tough stretch that kind of cost us, and I think our guys will be ready and motivated, and hopefully this game gives us some confidence.
Congratulations on the win.
Appreciate it, guys.
IWU currently up by 1 with 4 seconds to play at Grace.
All right, let's get some thoughts here from Keontae Jenkins and then Travion Cruz. KJ with a sensational effort. And talking to Dalen Trenshaw over there. Yeah. So let's get some thoughts here from the Fords. While you're working on that, let's go ahead and knock out some of these team numbers while you're trying to track KJ down. Mount Vernon was 24 of 52 from the field, 46%, 7 of 26 from long range, 11 of 16 at the line for an eye-popping 68%, not compared to them. They're normally the 79% free throw shooting. They only shot 68%. Let's get some thoughts now here from boy, I tell you what, the Fort was special tonight. The 2 guys from the Fort, boy, look at these guys. Keontae Jenkins, look at these numbers. 24 points, 8 of 15 shooting, 4 of 7 from long range. Didn't miss a free throw in 4 attempts. 7 rebounds. My, oh my, 3 assists, a turnover, 3 steals in 21 minutes. Keontae, your thoughts on the game. Congratulations on a great effort. You and Travion are just special upon special.
Appreciate it. We just wanted to start out on the defensive end. That was the key to this game. We just gave away a lot of points. The last, I'll say 3-4 games. So that's what we preached. And we had a speaker today, and he preached that. We preached that, and he got us locked in on defense.
Talking about Rico Swanson, that's who you're.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, those 2 red banners are because of Rico Swanson up there. But, I thought the defensive effort was off the charts. Tell us about dialing in like that.
Well, I'll say it start with me. I'm the spark plug. I've been a spark plug, and everybody knows that. So I take pride in that. So, I haven't showed it a lot, but, I'm starting to get there again. I'm starting to get my wind back. I'm starting to get back in the groove. So I just want to fire up everybody else, everybody that come off the bench, our starters and everybody.
All right, what a great effort. And, of course, now you're going to have this other guy. What's it like playing with number 3? He's pretty special.
Hey, it take the ease off of everybody.
It does.
Definitely does.
He was here, by himself last year, just trying to do so much of that stuff by himself.
Yeah.
You guys have been a godsend to him, because now he doesn't feel like he has to carry the load.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Appreciate you.
All right, let's get a thought here from the All-American. The All-American, pretty good night at the office, ladies and gentlemen. 14 of 19, 2 of 5 from long range, made both free throws. He had 7 rebounds, 32 points, 4 assists, a turnover, and 2 steals, and he only played 31 minutes.
That's because he rolled his eyes in frustration with 10:32 to go in the first half when Coach pulled him out. Like, what are you doing? And then you went back on the floor with a big smile on your face because you suddenly had a 2-point lead, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we were of the observation, Mark and I both, there was a point in the first half where Milton Gage, number 1 for them, kind of hit you upside the noggin. Hit you upside the head.
He came out full court pressed you.
Okay.
And then down there in the inbounds play, he was leaning on you.
And you got this little smirk, and you were ticked off.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you said, okay, you're going to play that way, take this.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, you're going into a whole nother. I mean, that's what we saw. Did you even realize that you did that?
I did not realize that. I don't even remember getting hit.
Yeah, well, you did, because the next thing you know is you went off for 6 unanswered points. And then,
oh, wow.
So, that – to everybody who's listening on the postgame show from other teams, don't get this guy ticked off, right?
I guess.
Okay.
And most teams don't come out in full court press you, I don't think. To me, I thought that was odd that somebody and then like I said, it just the next switch went and you made things look easy tonight.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
How you feel about this?
I feel good. I'm happy that we got that win, and hopefully it rolls over to Saturday.
So what is going to take to roll it over?
Same intensity. We come out on the defensive end and know that that's how we're going to win games, get stops defensively.
Yeah, the defense led to easy offense because they couldn't get anything tonight.
Yep.
I mean, you did a great job. You guys held Knox to 4 points in the second half. And
so how was the Rico Swanson talk today?
Yeah, he came in and talked to us, motivated us about team defense, kind of, just breaking it down and just letting us know, like, it's going to take a team effort to win games. So
those 2 red banners up there that have Rico's name all over it, and that's how it started, because they pllayed defense better than anybody in America.
Yeah, that's what he told us.
We're proud of you, man.
Did he tell you that he and Scottie Pippen are the only 2 guys to be 2-time NAIA Player of the Year?
No, he did not. Scottie Pippen.
Him and Scottie Pippen are the only 2 guys to win the NAIA Player of the Year award twice. It's pretty good company, huh?
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
All right, go get him on Saturday, man.
All right, thanks.
All right, once again, thanks to the All-American Travion Cruz. We'll get some final stats here from Coach Gardner, and then a final thought from Pat Dirksen. All right, take it away, Coach.
We got to get fist bumps to Caitlin Trenshaw, who was trying to take
she's going to be in action tomorrow.
She was trying to take our post-game guest away from us, but we'll share. All right, individual numbers. Jones, 14 points, 5 rebounds. Alex Johnson, 8 points, 5 rebounds. Jevon Knox, 16 points, 5 rebounds, but 5 assists, but he had 12 points at the half. Jacob Paul, 0 of 7 from the floor. 5 assists, 4 fouls, and we know he's a much better player than that. And, again, I feel bad for Goshen on Saturday. These guys are going to respawn. Isaac White, 8 points, 1 rebound. Ray Adams had 2 points. Eric McLaughlin, 15 points, 4 rebounds. Again, he had 12 at the first half, though. Eddie Driscoll had 2 rebounds. David Delahunty had 3 points, 3 rebounds. Ben Pollock had a rebound. And Gage played 13 minutes, didn't score. Most importantly, we hope that he's okay, too, as we saw him get carried off the floor late in the game. For the Pilots, Ertz, 3 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Love when your bigs have 5 assists. Maxwell Newman, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 2 helpers. KJ, 24, 7, and 3. Travion, 32, 7, and 4. Grant, 17 points, 3 rebounds. Pluta, 1.3 rebounds. Dillon, 3 points. Life Granville, 2 points, 3 rebounds. Gabe Johnson had an assist. Mickey had a steal. Gavin Rassler had 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Charity Hart, 3 points, 1 rebound, 4 assists. And Big Nick, 2 points, 2 rebounds. Got some final scores here across the Crossroads League. Huntington, 88-83 winner over Taylor. Spring Arbor, 78-51 over Goshen. Iwu, 87-85 winner at Grace. Good teams win close games. And Marion currently leading St. Francis by 5 with 36 seconds to play. Another matchup of top 20 teams there.
Tanya sent us, both of us, a text tonight. Don't poke the bear, then complain about getting mauled.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. All right, Pat, it was your first opportunity to see both basketball teams. Give us your final analysis.
Yeah, it's scary to think that at one point we were talking about how Bethel was struggling to find the rhythm offensively.
You're right.
And they end up with 100 points. And then you just heard KJ and Travion both talk about defensively how they were locked in and really focused on getting stops. And it really makes things easy to find your offensive rhythm when you have a guy like number 3 on your team, and you can just give him the ball at any spot in the court and let him create for himself. And then defense eventually has to help off him, and then he finds the right guy, and he's just a great player. Bethel's a great team. A really good effort all around.
All right. Mount Vernon will be at home against Goshen, and then they'll be on the road at IWU, their next two. Pilots will be, of course, at IWU, and then they'll follow it up with St. Francis. So the 26th meeting all time between the Pilots and the Cougars goes to the Pilots as Bethel ends the 6-game Cougar win streak. And Bethel now leads the all-time series 16-11. For all of us at the Regional Radio Sports Network, once again, the final score here from Mike Lightfoot Court. Pilots 100, Cougars 66. For Tiny Country, for Pat Dirksen, for Coach Mark Gardner. Special thanks to our coaches who spent time with us here today. And for all of us at Regional Radio Sports, I'm Paul Country. God bless you all. Semper Fidelis. Good night, everyone.